Just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Rookie right-hander Connerly Early threw 5 shutout innings and struck out 11 in his Major League debut last night. And as a result, the Red Sox beat the Athletics in Sacramento again, this time 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing just to go out there and, have that first opportunity. And, long day of travel yesterday and just getting to the field, seeing all the guys, seeing guys that you don't even imagine being next to most of the time. So it was amazing and just a bunch of joy.
Romy Gonzalez and Rob Refsnyder both homered as part of a 4-run top of the first inning. Refsnyder drove in 3 runs in all. The Sox wrap up this 3-game series this afternoon. They're currently tied with the Yankees for first place in the American League wild card race, and the Yankees will be at Fenway Park on Friday night. Dustin May was supposed to start last night for the Red Sox, but was placed on the injured list instead with what's been termed right elbow neuritis. Also, pitcher Kyle Harrison will reportedly be called up from Worcester today. Patriots players had yesterday off. They'll be back at practice today with their first road game of the season coming up Sunday against Miami. The team will also face a couple of former players in the next 2 weeks. The Dolphins yesterday signed offensive lineman Cole Strange off the Cleveland practice squad, and Pittsburgh has signed former Patriots safety and team captain Jabril Peppers. The Steelers will be at Gillette Stadium a week from Sunday. Getting back to the Dolphins, wide receiver Tyreek Hill has been accused of 8 counts of domestic violence by his estranged wife. And the NFL suspended Philadelphia defensive lineman Jalen Carter for a game. He spit on Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott. However, since he didn't play any snaps in week 1 of the season, the league is calling this time served. He can play this Sunday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's Home for Sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
and Hardy
Who's Taylor the originator?
on 98.5.
Hello.
Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How are we doing?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Monday.
Well, I tell her the truth. I miss Bodie.
That problem is too large for the starch.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
And I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back.
25 glasses of soda.
Having some fun.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
They suck. They were pathetic losers. Awesome.
No doubt in my mind.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios. You can call us, 617-779-0985. You can watch us live on YouTube if you're listening to a podcast of this. You can watch us on YouTube forever unless something happens, and then they take it down. But that is not every day, nor is it fairly often, but it does happen from time to time. All right, big show on the way today. Alex Barth, Mark Daniels, Ray Hudson is retiring. Ryan Clark is indeed losing his mind. There's lots of things going on. I'm almost done with that Trejo.
You've been
audio
listening to the audio, because I read that book like a year ago, and you said that you had the audio version of it. So I'm going to say it's taken you a year to listen to this book.
Because I would listen to it, and then I would stop listening to it and listen to other stuff, and then I would start it again, and then I'd stop listening to it, and every time I'd start it over.
Okay, well, Mr. Trejo was, he meant for that to be consumed in a more linear fashion, not just grab bag, a little bit here, a little bit there. So you're doing the author
No, well, that's why I started over again, and so now I'm almost done. That's why it's taken me so long. I'm explaining myself.
Is he the narrator?
He is the narrator, and I told you he hits his stride, and it's almost funny because in the beginning he's having like a lot of trouble reading it, and then at the end it's like very enjoyable because he's like legitimately laughing at stuff. And it's like he got really good at it at the end. So it's kind of like a hurdle to cover at first. And then at the end, he's like flowing real good. It's almost like he's, you know what I just realized is that the beginning of the book is obviously Danny Trejo was in prison a lot in like legit Soledad and Folsom and like these hardcore prisons.
Yeah.
He was like not a shot caller, but he was like I guess he was very well respected in these prisons. And during that stuff, maybe that's why, because during that like difficult stuff, he doesn't like reading it. And then like as it gets into like when he's an actor and like his relationship with his kids, he like starts like legitimately laughing and stuff like that. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe he feels more comfortable reading about the stuff that's not prison, which is understandable. But yes, but it did get me to watch Blood In, Blood Out. Because that was like his first, I guess, big role. And so the story of American Me, did we talk about that on the radio?
A little bit, yeah.
So American Me and Blood In, Blood Out were both about Mexican gangs, partially in prison. And they were coming out at the same time. And Edward James Olmos had just won the Best Actor Award. I don't even know what it was. Probably for Stand and Deliver. Where he was Finger Man. You like fingers. So Danny Trejo, was in prison and all this stuff and was not in the Mexican mob, but he was like an ancillary kind of guy. He never fully joined, which I guess is like a big thing. Is that once you join, you can't get out unless you become super religious, and they go to church to like make sure you're there and stuff. So Edward James Olmos is making this movie, and he wants Danny Trejo to be in it. These Blood In, Blood Out people are making this movie, and they want Danny Trejo to be in it. They're both about the Mexican mob. Danny Trejo goes to meet Edward James Olmos, and Edward James Olmos is described as Danny Trejo is dressed like a cholo, which is like, chinos and then the shirt button, just the top button, and then like falling open. And Danny Trejo's thinking, why are you dressed like this? Like, you never were in prison. You're not in the Mexican mob. Like, why are you dressed like this? He couldn't tell if it was method acting or not. So he started getting like a little weirded out. He asked Danny Trejo about if he'd been given permission by the guy he was writing about to write the thing. And he was like, yeah, he had been. And Danny Trejo's friend knew that wasn't true. So Trejo read the script, and he had read the script, and he was like, you have this guy getting raped in prison, which never happened. And you would never become, and worse than that, you would never become like the head of the Mexican prison gang, unfortunately, ever under any circumstances if you had been raped in jail. That's just the way prison is. And he said, secondly, what was it, Hardy? He had like something else like that didn't happen that made the guy look bad, kind of.
It was.
I was stuck on the rape thing.
It was something to do with like the hierarchy and how he was. I mean, it's been a while since I read it, but it was something like you said. The rape was like a huge thing, but he could never be like a boss.
Yeah,
but that thing happened.
But there was that was the big thing, is he couldn't be. Well, that was the rape thing, but then there was something else that was also bad. So anyway, he does this Blood In, Blood Out movie, which isn't very good, but it's 3 hours long, and I sat through it. So there you go. It's not Shakespeare, but it's kind of a true story, and all the prison stuff is fascinating. And the way he kills the Aryan Nation guy, he has to seduce him first.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. But anyway, so
it's a lot.
Have you seen Blood In, Blood Out?
No.
Because he goes in with the Aryan Nation guy, and he like physically manipulates him before he shanks him.
Huh.
And so anyway,
I do remember the one thing I do remember from the book, which I've shared with a couple of other people, is the one guy gets this horrible infection, gets really, really sick, really sick because he was shanked with
A keistered knife.
with a keistered shiv.
Yeah, it's his nephew.
Somebody had smuggled the shiv in or into the yard or whatever by putting it up there, and then he stabbed somebody with it, and that got that person really sick.
Yeah,
And not just from the stab, you understand.
The infection.
Yeah, his nephew got stabbed because his dad had been a big guy in the prison. So anyway, that was in real life though. So that's Blood In, Blood Out is the movie where the guy manipulates him. I don't want to get any trouble with them. I don't want Hardy crossing hairs. These are two separate stories. One is fictionalized and one is...
Yeah, I don't want to get in any trouble.
And they're not about the
this.
same person. So ignore what Hardy just said about that. I was describing something from Blood In, Blood Out. These are totally different things. So anyway, Edward James almost goes ahead to make Stand and Deliver. Well, the Mexican mob does not like it. And if you read about it, several people from that production were killed. And which you wouldn't think like really happens because... With
Blood In, Blood Out, not Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver people were killed. Blood In, Blood Out, no one was killed because Blood In, Blood Out was fictionalized. Stand and Deliver people were killed. That's in the book. He goes, I don't want to get into it, but people were killed, so I researched it.
Wow.
Yeah, and the people, like, I think 3 people with the production, which is several to me, were killed. Yeah. So you would think, but with, like, gangster rap and everything, and you know, people like representing like Crips and Bloods, but I've heard that it just really has to be that you grew up in the neighborhood. Really, I mean, we had all that conversation with Kendrick Lamar doing like the Crip walk, like it's not necessarily even gang affiliated. It's just from being there. What do I know about it? But you know, there's so much close to the, you know, gang adjacent stuff that goes on in entertainment now that it's very hard to think of someone getting killed. But then, do you guys know about the Chicago like trap scene? So go on YouTube. There's these trap videos that they're like teenagers in Chicago make. They're like rap videos, and they all have Uzis and stuff in them, and they're in these housing projects. And people follow them. It's kind of gross. People follow them because they're like real life, like bloody soap operas where these dudes are in real life dying. Like they're getting killed by dudes like affiliated with other songs and stuff. So there's like a timeline of these basically kids getting killed. So maybe that's sort of like the Stand and Deliver thing. But again, I got hung up on the rape thing.
Yeah.
It kind of threw me for a loop.
I got the book from the library, Adam 12. I'm sure you'd be very pleased to know that.
Attaboy.
So I can't
No,
go
you don't
back.
like that because it was gone.
I can't go back and check it. I thought it were people from Blood In, Blood Out that
No,
got killed
no, that's
after the fact.
No, Danny Trejo's in Blood In, Blood Out. And that's why he chose Blood In, Blood Out, because no one died. I'm quite definitive on this. It is American Me, which is the one that got people killed.
Oh, not you said not American Me, not Stand and Deliver. You said Stand and Deliver. That's what was.
Oh.
Yes,
No.
American Me.
No,
Okay.
Stand and Deliver. The
Yes.
math community got very upset.
Well, Hardy and I looked at each other. Really?
Oh no. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
American Me got people killed. I apologize.
American Me. Okay, good.
Makes more sense,
That now it's all coming back to me. Yes. The Stand and Deliver thing, which we've also talked about before, it's a really feel-good story. These kids, you know, they come out of nowhere. They end up taking the AP Calc test, and they pass it. But then they're accused of cheating.
Andy Garcia steps in and goes, "Nope, you all cheated."
Very similar to Blood In, Blood Out.
Edward
is.
Edward James almost said, "If I see you on the street, I'll drop you, Johnny."
It's a Latino American going against his people, just like in Blood In, Blood Out. One guy becomes like an agent.
I'm going to kick the S out of you. That's what he tells me.
Academy Award nominated performance.
The thing that might hinder or affect your enjoyment of the film a little bit is you look up what happened to those kids in Stand and Deliver. You know what they did in real life? They cheated on that test. Not all of them, but a few of them did.
Few of them did?
Few of them actually did. Now, it's still remarkable.
That's too bad.
That, you know, you're able to go from, the very, humble start in a rudimentary knowledge of math to be able to pass that test. But it turns out there was some cheating actually that did go on early in the they make it sound like nobody. In the movie, it makes it look like nobody cheated. It turns out a few people actually did cheat.
But the famous guy that plays the student, I never understood why that character is in the math class.
Lou Diamond Phillips?
Yeah, like why it never really fully fleshes out why he's in the math class.
You want to know why? Because you only see the road straight ahead. You don't see the turn.
Well, I know why the girl's in it who works at the restaurant because she's what?
Top student.
That's right. That's why she's in it. She's very mousy.
Oh, muy bien.
Yeah, because he goes in there to convince the parents,
Right.
to like let her stay in the class, and they feed him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, hey.
Mr. Escalante, it's too hot in here. Think cool.
That's right.
Yeah. It was no nonsense. But I don't understand. The Finger Man scene, the famous Finger Man scene. The Lou Diamond Phillips is this like gang guy, and he has a friend who's like a gang guy who is in the class for some reason, but doesn't want to be in it. And that's when the Finger Man scene, and then the guy gives like a gang sign, and Edward Gene's almost like, Moses up to him goes, "You like fingers? I got fingers too. 9 times 2, 1, 2. 18." And that's when the whole Finger Man thing happens, which is what Hardy had the shirt made for me, which I wear proudly.
Yes.
This is a rudimentary check of the internet. Multiple consultants from the 1992 film American Me were murdered by the Mexican Mafia, who were offended by certain scenes with actor Danny Trejo putting the number killed at 10. Now, I don't recall 10. He didn't put a number on it to my scene, but maybe in an interview he did. Now GQ saying 8 people died because of their involvement in American Me. Maybe 10. 4 outside and 4 to 6 involved. There you go. That's GQ.
G. Matthews, the author of Escalante, the best teacher in America, found that 9 of the students made identical silly mistakes on free response question 6. Matthews heard from 2 of the students that during the exam, a piece of paper had been passed around with that flawed solution.
Okay.
So they even make a part of it in that movie. It's like, they made the same mistakes because I taught them all the same way.
That's right.
Tic-tac-toe.
That's right.
Tic-tac-toe.
Yeah,
Well,
Edward
no.
James almost didn't have problems apparently stretching the truth.
But they all, the reason, in fact, the reason why they made the same silly mistake is because the cheat sheet had the mistake on it that got passed around. But they retook the exam. Most of them received top scores.
5s.
A 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Did he go around the room and go, "Hey, 5, 4"? That movie's so unintentionally funny. It's just the greatest thing ever.
Kimo, I'm the first dude here.
No one who's seen that movie has ever gone like, "That's not funny." Like every single person. And it's not supposed to be, and it's not cheap. That's the thing. And it's not even bad. It's just
it's fine.
funny. It's just so funny. And it doesn't make any sense. Like the girl at the restaurant makes sense. Like the girl that had the kid makes sense. But why is the gang guy in there? He doesn't want to be there. Yeah. You don't have to be in it. Why did, and of all things, calculus? Like he fell in love with calculus?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that happened. I don't believe that happened. That a disinterested gang member stuck around long enough voluntarily to take some AP exam when he was going to college?
No, because he brought his grandmama out to his house for Christmas. That's low.
When was the last time you saw that?
This is remarkable.
It's been a long time.
So you with that new Jack Swing music, he's got everything.
That's really something.
But isn't that something that all of us didn't know each other when that came out, and yet we all know it so intimately? It would be on cable, and you would just put it on and be like, "What's going on? Like, what is this?" And it's a nice story and very believable, except for the Lou Diamond Phillips character, where you're just like, no. Like, he's all decked out in gang stuff,
He's got the
and he
bandana
doesn't
and
want to
everything.
be there.
Yep, that's
But
right.
yet here he is after school. He's not avoiding parole.
Yep.
He's or keeping with
But
parole.
calling him the gang guy is Angel Guzman.
No, no one else was in a gang. He was in a gang. I'm not painting with a broad brush here. His character was gang guy.
And, of course, he was the one who got a 5, the best score at the end of the movie.
Yeah, which I just they never explain why he's in there
Yeah.
and why the other guy's in there who gets kicked out. I don't understand why he's in there. And that just is an excuse to do the finger man scene, which I'll take.
Yeah.
But there has to be a little explanation. You like fingers? Oh, here we go. All right, I got fingers too.
You know who John liked in that movie? Lupe.
Oh, Lupe is the one who had the kid or got pregnant. Yeah. Yeah, John did like
That's
Lupe.
just something for the summer.
Yeah, she had a very masculine
So you
voice.
two are an item now, huh? It's just something for the summer.
Right. Incredible.
John loved Lupe.
Incredible.
John wishes, he wishes that he was the guy that took responsibility for the kid. All right. Well, look, that was, I didn't know what we talk about, so there you go. That's what we talked about.
I'd rather talk about stand and deliver than just about anything else. We do
Yeah.
it all day.
Yeah. I might have to go.
I'm gonna
I
have to
wish
go
my
back
kids
and
had any
rewatch.
sort of patience because
Yeah.
I would like to put that on for at least my daughter and be like, what do you think of this? But there's no way she'd sit through it. That's the problem. Is that I have to take her somewhere. It would have to be playing at a theater. And then I could go, I wanted to get your
You can
feelings
get your
on
sodas.
this. No, but she'd have to be in a room dedicated to the theater.
Let's rent a theater and do it as an event for the show.
Oh, sure.
Well, I had that idea. I had that idea.
I know.
And
Is
it was,
that-
you know,
now we've got the other piece of it.
no, yeah, and it was actually, I think it was moving in that direction while we still had a promotions department. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
we wanted to
Yeah,
do a
I miss
thing.
those days.
I'll say it. We wanted to do a thing where once, maybe even just once, we rented out a theater and we played like a movie, like Stand and Deliver, and then we all watched it, and then together as an audience in a show, and then afterwards we kind of did a improvisational give and take with the audience about the film.
Would you like to do that if we could stop the film periodically?
Well, it would be funnier if we could stop the film, but there's two things about that would be hard. One is that I think I'd go on too long and stop it too much, and then we'd be there for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
two is I just don't know if that's good for like the narrative. Like you might want to have like 2 scenes cut or 3 scenes cut for after. But I don't know how they play movies at theaters anymore. They just play them off a disc. Like I don't know how they do it.
I don't know.
It can't be I can't imagine it's like a streaming file.
I
You'd have to figure
I
it'd be
don't know.
easier to stop and start movies now. I mean,
Well, no, yeah, I would assume, but again, like it's an event where you're forcing people to sit there. I wouldn't want if it's like a 90-minute film. If I stop it, I know myself. I'll go on and on and on, and I'll think I'm being funny.
Yeah.
And it's one thing if it's 2 minutes of audio in Vox Pro. It's another thing if it's 90 minutes of movie. And then the next thing you know, like during our 10th anniversary, I kept stopping the thank yous because I always have the instinct that I have to kill time or like fill time in case something else doesn't work. So like if we're cooking, like I'll be like, let's keep this going because it's working, and who knows if the next thing will work.
well, do you remember
And I would bore everyone. Go ahead.
when you first pitched this idea, the movie that you wanted to do, it wasn't Stand and Deliver.
No, I don't remember the movie.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Soul Man.
Oh yeah.
C. Thomas Howell.
See, that would be even funny.
And
I mean,
Ray Don
Soul
Chong.
Man. Soul Man is universally like it's just like a bad idea.
Wait,
So
what?
like we could
Well, I'm
like
talking about a wow movie. Wow.
like yeah.
that actually got made.
No, but it came from it came from a place of like it wasn't like a hateful place.
No.
Like, you know why they made the movie? It's just that you couldn't make it now.
Yes.
It's not a bad movie necessarily in terms of like it wasn't made by like the Aryan Nation. It's not Birth of a Nation. It's not something like glamorizing racism.
Well, let's do that movie.
We could do. Well, it would be quick and no words. We could just play it, and people would just be impressed. It's moving pictures, and the president would go to it, which is not. The president did go to that movie. I believe it was the first
movie
First
screened
movie
in the
White House. Yeah.
Yes. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. The Red Sox played late into the night, and there was quite an inning of baseball from a divisional competitor that I just happened to see. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher.
Hey, we're Dutcher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. A star is born in beautiful Sacramento, California, Hardy.
That's right. Red Sox once again taking on the Oakland Athletics. And who's on the mound?
Connolly Early, 23 years old, the left-hander from Virginia, making his major league debut, was 10-3, 2.60 ERA in 18 starts at Double and Triple A.
Oh, that was a nice encapsulation of everything Wallach and I were talking about earlier this morning. So I said, who is this kid, Wallach? And, yeah, he started the season down at Double A.
He was drafted in the 5th round in 2023, actually pitched in the College World Series for Virginia. He was a teammate of Kyle Teals a few years ago. And, he wasn't very good in his first season of professional baseball, but this year he put it all together. This year he was very, very good.
All right. Well, we'll find out how he did here in a moment, but let's see what the Sox did offensively last night.
Swinging a high fly ball left center field. That's deep. Going back, Butler all the way to the wall and kissing goodbye. Home run, Romy Gonzalez, number 9. 1-0 Sox for the second night in a row.
He might get double-digit home runs this year. Wow. That's number 9 for Romy Gonzalez. All right, that made it 1-0. Ref Snyder, you got anything for us?
Swinging a high deep drive. Watch this baby fly. It is gone. Rob Refsnyder destroys one, and the Red Sox lead it 4-0 without an out being recorded here in Sacramento tonight.
So the Globe put the tweet the Red Sox put out of that home run says bad day to be a baseball with Rob at the plate.
Hell yeah, it is.
463 feet, Fred. He destroyed it.
Are they able to
hit it very far, but it was a bad day to be a baseball.
Are they able to measure accurately in that park? I mean, do they have?
It's true. They might have measuring materials in that AAA park.
Yeah, my understanding is that
they just take a string out every time.
That like to warm up, you have to like leave the facility and like go like to another building.
Yeah, that's right. There are no seats out beyond left field. There's just like a fence, and then you have the freeway behind, cars going past.
It's inexcusable that franchise was able to move like that. It's inexcusable. I mean, football teams do play in, temporary places, but they're like the Rose Bowl. Or, like they don't.
Also, there's an end in sight. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
We're only doing this for a season or a season and a half.
The Chargers played in a 20,000-seat soccer stadium for a couple of years.
20,000 seats.
Whatever it was.
But they had a beautiful stadium being built
more
actively.
to your point, it was a means to an end.
Yes.
And how old was the soccer stadium?
It was relatively new. Yes.
Okay. So
this is unprecedented. If Tampa got relocated because of a storm, that's one thing, but this is something completely
so
different.
BC's got a very nice baseball field. Gambino got that, in my estimation, got that made when he was coach. He's at Penn State now, but it seats, I don't know, John, 1,000, maybe 1,000 people.
Not a lot.
That's the equivalent, is if like the Red Sox were playing at BC, and not even because it's the same town. It's ridiculous. It's a different town. It's a garbage minor league park.
It would be as if the Red Sox went to Burlington, Vermont.
Exactly.
And played there.
Yes. If there was like or they played in Portland, that's obvious because it's a minor league affiliate. But
I mean, it's the distance between. It's just I can't understand.
It would be like playing, but it's like a football team playing at a high school place. Like it's ridiculous. It wouldn't happen in football. It wouldn't happen. I mean, in basketball, it doesn't matter. I don't know. In hockey, they had the dumb rink in Utah with the speed skating rink around it. So what do I know? It's happened in other sports, I guess. But it is. But at least, but Hardy's right. At least that was in Salt Lake City, and they had like an arena across the street they were building.
Yeah,
it's not like this.
They do have a live cam. I just found this. MLB.com has I'm watching a live stream right now of construction of the A's ballpark in Las Vegas. And as you can see, Fred, it's coming along nicely.
What the screen is pointed away from me. Is it like a big dirt patch?
It's
a big dirt patch.
It's a big dirt patch.
Okay.
And the thing is that everyone knows this guy's not going to own the team. Like, he's going to have to sell. And there's no way that team's going to succeed in Vegas.
It's not. Well, my point has always been Sacramento said, come on down, play in our ballpark, because Sacramento knows what you're talking about. Even if this guy sells, that doesn't mean this team is automatically moving to another city. They're going to be in Sacramento for not only multiple years now, but I bet you Sacramento makes a run at them and says, we'll build you a new ballpark. Just stay here.
Like the Oklahoma City thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm betting Sacramento is where this team winds up one way or another.
Well, it's not going to work in Vegas, and this guy's not going to own the team. So Major League Baseball let him move the team when they know he's not going to own the team anymore. He's going to have to sell. Everything I've read is he's going to have to sell. And I also know that it's not like a unanimous thing in Vegas that they wanted it there. So you're going into a situation where a lot of people believe it's going to fail. It's not like just me pontificating. Like it's
some
based
very smart
on
people.
Some would say the smartest are saying that. But it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing that they're in Sacramento. It's embarrassing they're in a minor league park, and it's embarrassing that baseball's moving to a town that doesn't want them.
Even Tampa Bay, getting back to them, they got relocated. You know what happened? The owners sold a team. And a guy from Jacksonville bought it, and he's going to do what? Build them a new stadium in Tampa. So that deal got done. That's something that actually happened, and you thought Tampa was a bad franchise. They're getting a new ballpark. They're going to stay put.
I heard a Tampa Bay Buccaneers guy, or just like a columnist on a national radio show, and he was asked, he was talking about the Bucs, and he was asked, like, what are people saying about the new Rays owner? And he's like, nothing. It's like, nothing. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, no one's saying anything. No one cares.
It hasn't been brought up.
It's something that everyone just likes the football team. And the hockey team a little bit, but the football team. Yeah.
Well, let's
obnoxious fans in Tampa. It's a terrible city, but yeah.
All right, so Red Sox, they go up 4-0 in the first inning. They ended up getting the lead. And what about that starting pitcher last night, Connor Early?
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Swing and a miss by Thomas, strike three. In there to put him away, strike three. And punches him out. Pitch, swing and a miss. He struck out another one.
How about 11 strikeouts on the game for Early last night? This must be something you do all the time, huh, kid?
You remember the last time you had at least 11 strikeouts? Because it would have been high school if not before.
If not in college. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, like maybe never had 11 strikeouts in a game before.
5 innings. He had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings in his major league debut.
Throwing 97, 82 mile an hour off-speed stuff.
Yeah, 90 pitches.
Very difficult to hit.
5 innings, lefty.
He gave credit to one of his teammates in particular.
The biggest thing is probably Narvi was locked in today, like he is every single day.
You don't know him like that.
Narvi.
You don't know him like that.
I mean, all the notes that I had written down about the hitters he was like spot on with it. So for him not catching me and already being completely locked in on what my pitches were and when to use them and how I like to use them is huge. Just going out there and I mean those guys never seen me, I've never seen them. So just like mano every single pitch.
Yeah, pretty much. Now we're calling him Narvi.
Narvi.
Whatevs. I guess they're best friends now.
I guess it does speak a little bit to the difference, obviously the difference between minor and major league pitching. But when you have a catcher in there that really knows how to manage the game and how to manage his guy and what a difference that can make for not just somebody making their first start like that, but throughout a season.
Well, also these hitters have never seen him. So that's the thing is that it's a very impressive feat. And I wasn't even going to say this because I didn't think it would come up, but it's a very impressive feat, and that's a lot of composure. He's got great stuff. There's no reason he shouldn't be a very good major league pitcher with his stuff and his poise. But, I mean, they've never seen him. So that's a huge – so it goes the other way, too. They know far more about those hitters than those hitters know about that pitcher.
Like you saw Peyton Tolley light it up his major league debut, second start, not so good.
Yeah. So
let's see what happens if this kid gets another chance.
So a book exists on the A's hitters. A book does not exist on him as a pitcher.
Considering the time of year,
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I thought needed to be said, but Hardy brought up the catching aspect of it, and so I'm saying that the other aspect of it is that these are major league hitters that have never seen this guy and they don't know what's coming. Yes.
Big story for the Red Sox. They went on to win last night, so they're now tied with the Yankees for first place in the American League wild card race. The Yankees are going to be at Fenway on Friday, big weekend series. But the other story is, Fred, the Devers trade may finally pay off as soon as today. Kyle Harrison, the big pitcher they got in the Devers deal, is supposed to be called up today. And I don't know if he's going to start or not. It's Peyton Toley's turn in the rotation. So he may be available out of the bullpen or he may start today. But the point is he's going to be in uniform today against Sacramento.
Oh, well, that's very exciting. I don't know how that makes the trade pay off, but nonetheless, it is something that's happening. All right.
Well, it's something we're trying to balance things out. Just when, we're trying to praise Narvi over here, you balance it out with the fact that nobody has seen early before. Okay. So John is trying to balance out some good news with the horrific news that Dusty May.
Oh, yes.
Is injured, suffered a horrific injury.
Yes. Neuritis.
Right elbow neuritis.
No. Not that.
Inflammation of the nerve on the inside of the elbow. He's got an inflamed elbow, Fred.
Dusty!
This pitching, man.
That's the reason why he was throwing pitches all over the place. That's the reason he had no control, had no idea where the ball was going.
My arm.
I have a feeling his arms...
It's broken.
I have a feeling his arms hurt. It's just amazing that these guys... you're just going to get hurt.
My point is,
there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to get hurt.
Well, my point is, I'm not convinced he is hurt, much like Jordan Hicks.
I think
this is get this guy off the roster somehow.
I bet you he's hurt.
All right.
I bet you he's hurt.
It's very convenient that he's injured at this point in the season after pitching poorly since he got here.
I don't know. Maybe he's not. But all I know is that these guys all get hurt. They're all getting hurt eventually. It's a cruel, cruel discipline. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox beat the Sacramento Athletics again, 6-0 late last night out west. 23-year-old rookie right-hander Connerly Early made his major league debut. 5 shutout innings with 11 strikeouts. Red Sox and Yankees now tied for the top American League wildcard spot. Sox visit the Athletics one final time this afternoon. Patriots players had yesterday off. They're back at practice today. They visit the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. The Dolphins yesterday signed offensive lineman Cole Strange off the Cleveland practice squad. Pittsburgh has signed former Patriots safety Jabril Peppers, and the Steelers will be in Foxborough a week from Sunday. And Dolphins wideout Tyreek Hill has been accused of 8 counts of domestic violence by his estranged wife. Hill's attorney is calling these accusations a, quote, shakedown, unquote. Sports Hub headlines are powered by the commuter rail. Now through October 4th, ride free after 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday night. So if you're looking for something to do, visit massbytrain.com/things to do and get tickets with the M-Ticket app. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. This is the show for you. Toucher and Hardy, the Sports Hub.
We're Toucher and Hardy. Yesterday, my kids left the house in around 8:30ish. I turn on the TV to something that I want to see, and I flip it around, and I see that TBS has got the Yankees-Tigers. I go, I'll see what's doing. And I turn it on at the 7th inning, and they're bringing in Al Leiter Jr. with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Yeah, it was 2-2 in the 7th inning last night. Interesting game. Tigers, Yankees. What happened?
3-2, fly ball, right field, deep, way back and gone. Parker Meadows line drive home run. Second since coming off the injured list, and the Tigers have tied it at 2.
Excuse me, that tied it at 2.
Yeah,
My
apologies.
Let's go to the 7th.
The 2-2, line drive to the gap in left center field. That's going to get all the way to the fence. Two more runs.
Yeah, that's after everything happened.
Well,
that's not the real highlight.
That made it 10-2.
Yeah, that was Carpenter just adding on to the.
Well, we don't
happened.
have highlights of the walks and the.
Well, you could have done a montage of Al Leiter Jr. throwing wild pitches, almost hitting guys.
Ryan,
hitting
we should have
guys.
done montage.
All right, so Mark Leiter Jr., single, hit by pitch, walk, wild pitch, and then that triple, and then they took him out.
Yeah.
Didn't get anybody out.
And one of the wild pitches is uncredited because it bounced right back to him. It was such a wild pitch. It bounced off the matting in the back, bounced off the backstop, and right back to the catcher. And so he wasn't missing by a fraction of an inch. He wasn't getting squeezed by the ump.
Did he try and frame it?
Yeah, right, yes. Well, he was throwing a lot of balls in the dirt and spiking them in the dirt. It wasn't like he was throwing balls that were skidding into the dirt. He was spiking balls, throwing balls over. He had the yips.
So it was like Daniel Bard in Toronto. It was Rick Ankiel in the playoffs all those years ago.
No, it wasn't that bad. I mean, Ankiel lost his mind. I mean, Ankiel could never pitch again. It wasn't like Mark Wollery's. But he for that, I don't think he's ruined, but for that appearance, he was not going to correct himself. It was bad enough that he wasn't getting out of it. And the reason Carpenter hit that double or triple is because, Leiter was just leaving it over the plate, just trying to get it over, throwing a 92-mile-an-hour fastball over the heart of the plate. Any major league hitter is going to hit that. So it was, he lost it, completely lost it. Little League style. That was a Little League inning. And I guess that's good news for I don't know the next time they're going to bring the kid out. They got to make sure it's the right circumstance. I wouldn't bring him out again in a close game. The next time I bring him out, I want some padding either way. Give the kid a little break.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out whose kid that was.
Some extra.
Because there's two lighters.
Yeah.
Very confused.
There's Mark and Al.
Extra padding for the catcher while you're at it.
Yeah, it was a scene. I just happened to see it, and then it became very compelling. And they even said it during the broadcast. They're like, you're not going to see this very often in a major league game. The Tigers batted around and then some. It was really, really bad.
Well,
there was some boos.
If you've been unable to watch some of these late starts during this West Coast trip, fear not. 3:35 first pitch this afternoon as they wrap up the 3-game set with the A's, and then home to take on the Yankees. 3-game set over the weekend starting on Friday.
Crochet gets the Sunday night game, too. The Red Sox couldn't have planned it any better. Once again, this is a huge 3-game series, and the Red Sox have their 3 best pitchers. You have, I think, Giolito Friday, Bayo Saturday, and Crochet on Sunday.
Yep.
So this is and the other thing, and we were talking about this, Tigers have 83 wins. Red Sox have 81. And 83 wins for Toronto. Not only is the division still in doubt, Sox are only 3 games out with 16 to go. A bye in the first round isn't out of the question either. If they keep winning, it's really something.
Yeah, there's a huge Yankee series. And don't worry, Aaron Boone's there. Aaron Boone's there to muck it up.
Yep, he'll get tossed.
He'll play the infield and then they'll allow a pop fly single that's going to, with the bases loaded, and is going to ruin your kid pitcher. That's what happened to start Al Leiter's inning, is that he allowed a pop they had the infield playing way in, nobody out, bases loaded. I don't know, in the 7th, I don't know. Maybe that's the right thing to do.
2-2 game? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. So it's a dealer's choice, I guess. You could play a double play depth thinking that you'd get the run back, but I don't know about playing in. I wouldn't have done it, but they did it. And so, but listen, and then there's a bloop single, and with nobody had a chance at it, and then it gets to a situation where the kid loses it completely, and then that game's over.
Very quickly here is some confirmed bad news out of San Francisco.
The 49ers Pro Bowl tight end George Kittle is going to be sidelined multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. He'll be a candidate for injured reserve, which would knock him out for at least 4 weeks, but he's dealing with a hamstring injury.
All right, so now I can't read anything that Schefter puts out without the Callahan in the back of my head, Andrew Callahan, because there was something he put out about the Watson receiver in Green Bay. They're like, Green Bay's honoring, is extending Christian Watson despite his injury. They are extending him, and the agents have made sure that there will be no performance bonuses affected by injury. And it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like that's the exchange of information. Just like, why do I need to know that? Like, why do I even need to know that they?
Because somebody needs to kiss the ass of the agents who keep feeding them information and prop them up in a tweet.
But I know that's the exchange, but what useless information. Wow, Christian Watson got extended a year.
It's useful to Adam Schefter.
Yeah, I know, but it's useless to the public.
So what? Who cares if it's of any use to you? It was useful to Schefter.
I'm just saying, selling your soul for that story is a pretty paltry exchange.
You only see the road in front of you. You don't see the turn. So what Schefter is doing is he throws that one out there. It's like, sure, it might make me look like a kiss ass, lightweight jerk off, but I'll get another good piece of information from this guy later this season.
Yeah, it's just maybe don't report the Christian Watson thing at all, and let it come out in a press release. Like, wow, it was like the first thing on Instagram this morning.
Yeah,
and it's
you know why? He's top reporter.
You got to convince his parents to keep him in journalism school.
Right. Well, the restaurant ain't going to run itself.
That's absolutely true. All right. When we come back, our friend Julian Edelman's got a big pod. I don't even know if this is from his podcast or what it's from, but he's trying super hard.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, I tried so hard to listen to all of his.
But this is peak Edelman right here.
Yeah, he's trying.
Peak Edelman.
He's always been trying super hard.
Man.
He's keeps swinging for the fences. So I didn't want to play it yesterday, but I'm told that this needs to be played. So we will play it. We will have that for you in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the
Three-run homer capped a 4-run top of the first inning, and then rookie lefty Connerly Early did the rest in his major league debut. He struck out 11 over 5 shutout innings of work for Alex Cora.
He was really good. Since he got here, on the control, during the meetings, in the clubhouse, in the training room, he was prepared too, which was eye-opening. He did his own homework, went through it with the coaching staff, and he executed. There was some traffic there, but he never panicked and gave us 5, and that was good enough.
Sox are 3-2 on this 6-game road trip. They'll go for a three-game sweep of the Athletics this afternoon. Sox also made a few roster moves to make room for Early. They placed pitcher Dustin May on the injured list with what they're calling right elbow neuritis. Also, pitcher Kyle Harrison is with the team. He will reportedly be officially called up from Worcester this morning. Patriots visit Miami Sunday. Players will be back out at practice today. Miami yesterday signed former Patriots offensive lineman Cole Strange off Cleveland's practice squad. Also, the Patriots will see Jabril Peppers a week from Sunday. He is signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Dolphins wideout Tyreek Hill has been accused of 8 counts of domestic violence. These are charges from his estranged wife. Hill's attorney is calling these charges a shakedown. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Mass Energy. Stay safe and warm this winter with your local home heating oil provider, and learn more about BioHeat Fuel at massenergymarketers.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Start your day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Work through your day.
What's that thing we do at the end of the show?
And end your day.
I'm not giving you an opinion. I don't know.
Right here. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
It's called rising and grinding.
Start your
Got
day.
your finger on the pulse, Fred.
Begin your
Seldom
day.
right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that Toucher or is that Hardy?
I know, looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub.
We're Toucher and Hardy, and you can watch us on YouTube. If you subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, this show will be up there. And we, Julian Edelman, I don't dislike at all. I really don't. I just don't think he's cool. Let me explain. He tries way too hard. It's, when he was a player, we went over it a bunch of times, like him and Amendola. And Amendola's like super handsome, so he didn't have to do any of this. They would like hire out crews on their own money, like real crews, and make these like videos that were supposed to be kind of funny.
They were both cops in one video.
Right. And I have to imagine that cost a lot of money, but there are kids with phones making videos that have tremendous amounts of success for no money, and they're not famous football players. So, like, he was failing so dramatically at becoming more famous. He had the J11 brand, which was I couldn't imagine how that even got past the creation stage.
Remember how much of a joke it was in the locker room? Remember when Chris Long was here? He bought himself an Edelman mask and put it on in front of the media and went on and on and on. And Edelman, who ran over there, tried to be part of the joke and started laughing, when in reality it has to hurt a little bit inside.
Well, yeah, because you're just trying so hard. There has to, even if you're trying behind the scenes to get like a career in television or acting, you can't make it seem like you're trying that hard. Like, if you hire out a crew and shoot something, it better be effing funny. Because, look, the Always Sunny in Philadelphia guys, they shot a spec script, sent it off to FX. It's the longest running sitcom, live action sitcom in history. It can work out. But if you're taking a swing as a famous person, it better work out. So anyway, he, of course, has a podcast. Everyone has a podcast, and his is, I would imagine, ironically titled Bros on Bros. I don't think that I think he gets that it sounds stupid, but nonetheless, I think that might be the joke. I'm assuming that's the joke. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. But he was in Philadelphia. Now, when this audio idea was first presented to me by Ryan before the show yesterday, I was like, Edelman probably just be happy someone's talking about him. Like, and then after the show, Ryan was like, it's pretty Edelman-y. You might want to play it. So I'm just letting you know I did not seek out this audio to make fun of Julian Edelman. I don't dislike him. I want to say, because Belichick I very much dislike. Edelman I do not dislike. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. It's just very not cool how hard he's trying. You understand?
I understand.
I even give that message to my children in your social lives. You can never let people think you're sweating. Can't think you sweating the way you dress to school. Can't think you're sweating being their friend. Can't think you're sweating being their girlfriend. You got a cool detachment in some aspects of your life. I believe. I could be wrong, but this is what I believe.
But if you're forcing yourself to be detached, then you're still forcing yourself.
You're always an actor on a stage, my friend, no matter what you're doing.
Are you saying that all the world's indeed a stage and we are merely players?
Performers and portrayers. Each another's audience. And then I don't remember the next line.
It's all right. That's pretty good.
There you go. All right, so here we go. Here's Edelman.
Hey, how's it going? This is Evan calling from Los Angeles. I was wondering if...
That's a great thing about the podcast is you can have people tape phone calls. So you can play the phone call without any interaction
Call in
with the
at
caller.
this time, and then we'll sift through them, and then we'll play them back.
Yeah. It's just like talking to someone on the phone.
Once we've already heard the call and determined how we're going to answer them.
You could always go on the internet live and then take calls live. That's what Tom Green did, who started all this. Tom Green was the first one, and he did a show from his house live and took calls. And he is before anyone.
Hey, how's it going? This is Evan calling from Los Angeles. I was wondering if you think the Chiefs and the Eagles were playing each other in a beer pong tournament, who would they choose for either side, and who do you think would come out on top? Thanks for your time. First time, long time. Bye.
That's a very cool call, first of all. Because it's just bros playing beer pong. Who on these teams would be the coolest beer pong dude? You could counter back with their multimillionaires that are getting laid all the time. I don't know if they're either Christian-y married guys or they're getting laid all the time. I don't know how much beer pong is being played. They're have quite a large group of people that they can socialize with. But nonetheless, what a cool question. And I like that he sifted through a bunch of calls. Well, theoretically a bunch.
Let's do the beer pong one.
Yeah. That's cool. Like, we all played it.
You know what people like? Beer pong.
We all played it, but I don't know if I ever was
This will not only answer a listener question, it'll afford us the opportunity to talk about beer pong.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like couldn't you see this being like a Tim and Eric parody of an athlete podcast?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Like, it really is so ripe for ridicule in a very smart way that I'm incapable of. But, like, if you did a sketch, if you were capable of writing a sketch and you were like, athlete podcast sketch, this would be the call that you picked.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Who'd win the beer pong? And it's like a dork calling in. You can tell it's a total dork calling into another dork. Dorking out about crap. Come on. Hey, with these guys that they're cool, because they're not even like Dungeons and Dragons dorks. They're like guys that like actually think they're cool, that are just so right. Yeah. Like if Mulaney got his hands on this, like some real craftsman got his hands on this and could like in a non-mean way poke fun at it, like in that way that they do, that makes it all the more crushing when it lands upon you. It's not like me just being mean. These, like when Mulaney did the Jordan Hudson thing on his show, they did it in like a smart, fun way that was 1,000 times worse from the Belichick clan than anything I've ever said, because mine is just obvious and mean. This could, in the right hands, which this could be done.
Just remember, you like Edelman.
No, I don't think he's a bad person.
I know. Well, no, you said you like him.
No. Okay, that's too far. I don't think he's. I don't dislike him. I should say. I'm never gonna listen. What are you listening to the Bro on Bro podcast?
I'm trying to.
That's right. I've been interrupting. I should let him get to the beer bong
We
thing.
just have a phone call. We haven't
admit that phone call's terrible.
Of course, it's terrible. But Hardy's right. We haven't
frickin' cliffhanger over here.
We haven't heard anything from Edelman yet.
Would you like to? After the break. No, just kidding. All right, here we go.
Ooh, that's a good question. Two guys.
You got to go with like one of those.
Oh, even the voice, I hate it. Okay, never mind. I'll stop.
with like one of those lines.
Lane Johnson.
Yeah, and too bad.
No, and then I'm going Lane, and I'm going Big Dom. Team. Big Dom and Lane.
There's an intimidation factor with Big Dom, too.
Big Dom, of course, is the camera-obsessed Italian. Did you know he wears Italian flags on everything?
Security
guard for the Eagles.
Security game day ops.
I'm not even sure.
No,
what,
he's got like 3 titles. One of them has to do with game day ops.
Yes, and then Bert was trying to defend him, saying he's very important. He picks people up from the airport.
Yeah.
And he knows people in law enforcement that he can call, as opposed to other people that wouldn't know anyone in law enforcement. That connection to law enforcement that no one else has. Big Dom required on the sidelines, even though there's National Guardsmen with semi-automatic weapons and sniper training in the building, yes.
By the way, a buddy of mine who was a cop was taking his daughter to college recently, out of state, got pulled over for speeding in Georgia, still got a ticket.
Really?
And this guy never pulls the "Hey, I'm a cop" card like in any situation, but he's got like a car full of stuff. The family in there, they're just trying to get her down to school at a reasonable time, and did the whole thing, of just, I'm very sorry, this is who I am. They're like, that's nice. Here's your ticket.
Wow. That's crazy.
You Yankees are more trouble than you're worth.
Because they really don't have to. They could have.
Of course he didn't have to.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
I have a great relationship with the police. I love the police.
Well, now that you got your front license plate on.
People make fun of it. I had a guy, Hardy put my front license plate. I'm digressing so much, but Hardy had someone put my license plate on because you have to get your sticker with
zip ties.
Zip ties, and I had a guy attempt to make fun of me for it, and I said, I don't want to screw it in. You screw it in your car, and then I said, and he went, oh, yeah. He had no comeback for that.
That's right.
I said, I don't want to ruin the front of the car. If you want to ruin the front of your car, go ahead and ruin the front of your... He was coming at me a little hard on it.
Yeah.
And I explained what... I said, oh, yeah, Hardy put it on with zip ties so I could get my sticker. And he goes, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin the car. You go ruin your car. And then it threw him for a loop. He didn't have a response to that. Checkmate, my friend.
Dude, Big Dom plays some beer pong, dog.
Will you tell us about your little Philly day?
Philly day was sick. I had the Philliest day ever. Fucking crazy. Wake up.
Okay, so this is his crazy day in Philadelphia. He woke up, all right, tosses these hoes out of bed, snorts a line just to get right.
You leave a number on the table by my database. I love you, but you got to go.
I'm paying you to leave, baby.
You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Took the gun out of his mouth because it was a wild night.
Hit up my boy Dave. I'm like, yo, I need a haircut, dude. You got a guy out here? So he's like, yeah, I do. And I was like, yo, I also need to get a cheesesteak. Where should I go? He goes, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna eat Angelo in South Philly with the Cooper Sharp. That cheesesteak. All right, we're gonna get that. We're gonna pizza, and then we're gonna get the haircut by Bryce Harper's barber.
That's crazy. What a story. You got your hair cut and got food.
It gets better.
What an exciting story by Edelman.
You got to listen.
It gets more juicy.
He knows how to tell a story. You got to let this thing
beer pong.
Breathe a little bit.
Beer pong. Look, this is a true genius. He took the beer pong question and turned it into his fun day in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get a haircut and a cheesesteak.
You think Edelman's Edelman now. Just give it 30 seconds.
Just like if you were on a middle school class trip to the Liberty Bell. These are all things that you could be doing, too.
Above Angelo's while eating with Big Dom in there. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Go down to South Philly, walk over there, get out, go upstairs.
Oh, these are all details that are very exciting.
Place is packed. Cheesesteak is phenomenal. The pizza's spectacular. I'm in the kitchen of the condo above the restaurant, getting faded up by my guy. I got to get his name.
Yeah, he's getting faded up.
Yep.
I didn't care for that phrase. When I heard it the first time, I did not like that.
The high top fade used to be a kid and play thing. Now it's everyone's business.
Now it's just synonymous with a haircut.
You're just getting a fade.
Bryce Harper's dude, though. So, like, it's pretty Philly. You know, he's a Philly guy.
Well, he lives in Philadelphia. He's the Mark Twain of our time.
Dave-O, he's Mr. Philadelphia. He's in there, brings in Big Dom. Big Dom and I just start chopping it up while I'm eating a chili or a cheesesteak, getting a haircut. Big Dom is like, yo, you need a ride? Get in the Big Dom mobile. He's got a blacked out Escalade, hella sick.
I didn't care for that one either.
No, that was uncomfortable.
I don't like it.
That last one.
Going through lights and stuff. I don't know if that's legal, but he's got fucking sound. Boo! Everyone's looking at Big Dom driving down Philly like, yo, Big Dom. It was fucking insane. Philly is hot. Philly, it was, and then I go back to my house and I'm like, or I go back to the hotel, which is spectacular, beautiful hotel. That Four Seasons in Philly. Very nice. Gronk has been talking about it for 2 weeks. It was nice. So I go back, and then I'm like, all right, I got my shit. I feel good. I'm confident. Get in bed, brush my teeth, lie down, turn on the TV. Invincible's on.
Of course.
That's the worst story I've ever heard in my entire life.
What are you talking about? And everything about it is awesome. You get the cheesesteak and pizza. You get faded up by the same guy who cuts Bryce Harper's hair. Is that what he said?
Right.
I already forgot.
Right.
All right. And he doesn't know the guy's name, but so what? Doesn't matter. Riding around in an Escalade, hella sick. And he goes Four Seasons, awesome. Nice juxtaposition between the barbershop above the cheesesteak place and then going to the Four Seasons. And how do you cap off this perfect day in Philly? Invincible's on the TV, starring Philadelphia legend Mark Wahlberg.
Well, it was a guy who tried out for the Eagles.
Yes.
And that happened, too.
Invincible's on.
Yeah. Just happened to be.
Yeah.
It plays on a loop at the Four Seasons.
Yeah, it really did. Just like if you go to the Four Seasons Boston, it's the town.
Yeah,
they just run that on a
loop.
loop.
No, it's actually the Fallon Fenway one. It's
Fever Pitch.
They play Fever Pitch just on loop. They play a real stinker.
Yeah, I watched the whole goddamn movie.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Late bedtime for you.
Gosh.
I was walking down the same goddamn area in South Philly.
Were you?
Earlier that day, getting a goddamn haircut at Angelo's.
This guy's taking the Lord's name in vain like you wouldn't believe.
While eating a cheesesteak. Yeah. It was such a fucking Philly day. It was so Philly.
Okay.
Then I got some cream cheese on a bagel. You believe that?
What kind of cream cheese?
What do you think? Some goddamn Philadelphia cream cheese.
Damn right.
God damn it.
We got up, and then our teachers let us sleep late, and then we got on the school bus, and we went to Pat's Cheesesteaks. And while we were there, we got to also they had pizza pies, and we got to go. And then when we got back to the hotel, we got to play in the indoor pool. And then when we got upstairs, there was movie night. I mean, he's talking about a trip to the Liberty Bell. He got to ride in a cool car. If we got to go
hella sick.
We got there was a toucher truck, and we all got to go into a police car and touch it. What a lame story. Ugh, I'm glad. Thank you, Ryan. You have good instinct, because that was worse than I ever imagined. It wasn't even so much douchies. It was just horrible.
You really need to see him when he tells it, though.
No.
To really kind of get the vibe of it.
All it does is anger me
that he can tell a great story and you can't.
No, that he feels the need to do this. That he can't just get a job. Like, what do you do? Like, why do you have to do this? It's just awful, and it makes it bad for everyone.
He's tried. He's tried to get a job.
Has it?
Yeah.
What, you don't think he wants to get paid $1 billion to be an analyst?
To sit on a desk for literally 2 minutes.
No, he wants. This isn't like Bill Simmons' Empire. No, this is a one-off.
He's just
jerk fest.
He's just chopping it up, dude.
Chopping it up with Big Dom. Life doesn't get any better.
I'm just curious, and I doubt we'll get a call. But if you think we're off, and there is anyone out there that found that in any way endearing or interesting, and not cringy and just boring, I would love to hear it. And I will let you go uninterrupted. I promise to not interrupt you unless you run afoul of standards and practices, because I would like to hear someone who goes, that's good. That's what I want to listen to. And then I guarantee if you looked at it, it has like 5 million listens, and then there's no way. So it's just all fake. It's just, if that was on the radio, no one would ever listen to that. But somehow, miraculously, there's millions and millions of people listening to this garbage. No, there's not. It's fake. It is fake. It's all, ask Bill Simmons. It's all fake. It's insanity. Insanity. And these dumb companies advertise on this garbage, thinking that they're reaching someone, and they're reaching no one.
What would be the Boston equivalent of this story? Yeah, I hooked up with Bears Nigerian, drove me around in his Tesla, went to the Cheers at Faneuil Hall, went back to my hotel. Friends of Eddie Coyle was on. Boom. Perfect Boston day.
Just all right. And I'm sure that's all that happened. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy.
$7:30 p.m.
This place a rough.
This is the perfect weekend outing with friends and family. RevolutionSoccer.net/tickets to see the New England Revolution against Toronto FC. That's Revolution.net/tickets.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Oh boy, your front door looks like this, when it could look like this. We're Right Window and Door. A new front door is an amazing thing. The right one improves the entire look of your house. And at Right Window and Door, we make sure you get the right one. We come over with this fancy schmancy software, sit down at your dining room table, and match a ton of door styles to a pic of your house. You swipe right through them. No. Ooh, I like that. That wood is good. Add glass, remove the brass, customize it right on the spot, done. It's like a dating app for doors. Only better than a dating app because when you finally meet the door, it actually looks like the picture.
Right now, save $300 on door installation with free financing for 18 months.
So make an appointment with Right Window because your house will be closer to perfect when you match it with a perfect front door.
Call Right Window right now.
Call 800-649-3600. Quality products professionally installed for the right price, right window, and door.
The DeMore McKim School of Business at Northeastern University, where MBA and master's degree students build vital business skills through experience. Connect at northeastern.edu/business.
Stay safe and warm this winter with your local home heating oil provider. And learn more about bioheat fuel at massenergymarketers.org.
Did you know accidents are the #1 leading cause of death and injury for children? Or that as little as 12 inches of rushing water can sweep away a car? Have you practiced a fire drill? Can you shelter in place for 3 days? It's time to prepare. Your family's safety begins with you.
This station is part of the Beasley Best community of caring. For more information and ways you can help, visit 985thesportshub.com/caring.
Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports Hub.
Yeah, I mean, those are correctable. I mean, those are on the list. Those are just little details we got to focus in and hone in on. That's just the main thing. No matter what we in, it's things that we can correct, at the end of the day. So, yeah.
All right, it's going to take a second to get to Mark Daniels because in Philadelphia, and the story was legitimately someone called it and they said, who would you take in beer pong? Which was a lame question. And then he went into a story about how he had cheesesteaks, got his hair cut, and watched Invincible.
He'd take Big Dom in beer pong, Fred.
So I asked a listener to call in and defend the segment we just played, which is not happening, but is someone okay, Alex, go ahead.
All right, Fred, listen. You spewed a bunch of garbage over the radio over the years. Give Edelman 2 minutes of garbage. Give him a break.
Okay. Well said.
Yeah.
But
good.
Thank you, Alex. I agree with you.
What a staunch defense and
if
vicious
it were
takedown.
only 2 minutes of garbage, that'd be great. But we've talked about this for what, a decade, 15 years? He
tries way too hard.
You know what, John? You give him a break too. Shut up.
If he wasn't a great Patriot player, it wouldn't be worth playing. I mean, so it's actually his own success that
this criticism has nothing to do with his playing ability or the type of player he was. He was a great player for this franchise.
No, it's almost a satirical, dopey sports podcast is what it is. And I just still haven't heard a defense. I'll take one more. Because, Dan, I don't think you're being serious. But go ahead, Daniel.
I'm being very serious. It's like the secret life of, celebrities. He's a huge star. Haircut, who knew? Cheesecake and pizza, amazing. And he brushes his teeth and watches movies. This guy, I mean, where do you even get a toothbrush? What is this magic sorcery?
Yeah,
of course he gets all the glamour stuff.
Daniel gets it. It's like an audio version of Stars. They're just like us.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what you're leaving out. If that story was that lame, what actually happened?
He had to edit stuff out. Leave the boring stuff out.
Like you're painting with such broad strokes. What actually happened? I wonder if the hooker and cocaine thing's really what happened. And Big Dom had to get him out of a sitch. He had a lady that was all hyped up and wouldn't leave. PCP in that thing. Trying to jump out the window. All right, very good. Mark Daniels covers the Patriots for Mass Live. Mark Daniels, thank you for joining us as always, sir. Thank you.
Hey guys, good morning. So I'm pretty good at beer pong. I'd say above average.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, then we wouldn't get drunk. We would be on the side that didn't have to drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you go to UNH, you get a lot of practice.
Yeah. So. Well, the thing about beer pong is that I just always found myself doing shots on my own. I mean, let's be honest, we were all trying to get drunk here.
Everyone's drinking. You're left out by being good. Wait a minute.
You did that too? Go up to the bar and do shots by yourself while the other things are happening.
There's too much. I'm not a big pool or ping pong guy. I was more of a drinking guy. I like to drink.
What are we doing here?
Exactly. Why is there the consequence of being good is not drinking? This is not my intuitive way. But all right, Mark. We haven't talked to you since the game on Sunday. Was anything surprising for you about the way they played or the outcome of that game?
The most surprising thing was probably the run game. I think with Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, Travion Henderson, I thought it'd be a much bigger part. If you told me, hey, they're not going to run the ball at all in the second half, I'd be like, no chance. But that's what's that's what's happened. And Travion only having 5 carries in the game was a bit surprising. I mean, he didn't touch the ball all that much, but you can sort of see like that he's like the real deal, right? He has this like 13-yard fake. Was it the fake tush push play and all that stuff? So I'd say the lack of the run game surprised me. And on defense, the big plays by Geno Smith, especially when Brock Bowers come out of the game, that was, I'd say, surprising and disappointing. And then the third thing would be just Drake May and some of the inaccuracy and bad decisions he made. You can only use the word potential so much. Now he's still 23. You still use the word potential because you see glimpses. But in year 2, you want to start talking about him putting it all together. So I'd say those 3 things were definitely a bit surprising.
Okay, so yesterday everyone was going on just the NFL in general. No one was talking about Drake May. Everyone was talking about Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
And, J.J. McCarthy was terrible. I think he had 5 yards passing or something in the first three quarters.
Awful.
Like some historically low number, literally historically low number in the first 3 quarters. But then he leads this tremendous comeback. Caleb Williams is 10 for 10 to start that game. He falters at the end. Everyone's killing him. I'm sure you watched some of that game, and I'm sure you've heard some of the analysis of that. Can you kind of compare Drake May to those 2 guys? Like his contemporaries, like where he stands in relation to them. Obviously, Jaden Daniels another level, but the other guys, right. Where does he stand?
Yeah, honestly, I've liked Drake May better than Caleb Williams since last year. Caleb, when he's not running the ball, he doesn't seem like the type of passer who's going to always have success in the NFL. And I think it's hard to win like that. And, unless you're Lamar Jackson, who's just an absolute freak. So I still like Drake better than Caleb Williams, who, went into Chicago with much better weapons. And, obviously this year they spent a ton of money on that offensive line. But I always thought like Caleb was in a better situation to a certain degree because of the people around him, not the coaches, but I'm talking about the players. And J.J. McCarthy is just such an unknown. He's younger. I think he's a little younger than Drake May, but it's one game where for 3 quarters people are sort of making fun of the Vikings for sticking with him, and in the 4th quarter all of a sudden he's better than Drake May. I mean, at the very least he has moxie, he has that that clutch gene. Does that mean he's going to turn into Tom Brady? No, but you just need a larger sample size. I thought in the joint practices with the Patriots he played pretty well. But there were also times I would sit back and watch those practices and be like, oh yeah, the Vikings won 14 games last year. You know what I mean? He's throwing to like Jordan Hudson and T.J. Hawkinson, and he has a legitimate offensive line or Christian Darrisaw, and you sort of compare and contrast the situations, the coaching staff. Obviously JJ didn't play last year, but at the very least he had time to be in that playbook. Whereas now Drake May, who's also young, he's on his 4th offensive coordinator in 4 seasons dating back to UNC. There's just a lot changing for him. So it's a thing that no one loves to say in week 1, but like you have to sort of sit back and watch how this all plays out, especially with Drake.
Yeah, and that's a very good answer. And so are they doing him a disservice? This is what the conversation was all off season. The big thing this season, like it or not, is the development of Drake May. Yeah. That's what it is. This notion of 11 wins is insane. So if the development of Drake May is the most important thing, you've mentioned Caleb Williams' situation, J.J. McCarthy's situation, Bo Nix's situation is good. Jaden Daniels' situation, he made it. Jaden Daniels another thing. Yeah, but he's special. But are the Patriots, in your opinion, doing him a disservice? Like, is this a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield? Is this a guy with a lot of talent that is not surrounded by enough to succeed in is like a 2-stop guy? Like, how do you see this playing out? This is all speculative. This is just your opinion.
So I think the service was last year with the coaching staff he had and the players he had. I mean, the week 1 offensive line, if you guys go back and look at it, it was like Chuks Okorafor at left tackle, Mike Owino at right tackle. I think Layden Robinson was starting at guard. It was so bad. Like the offensive line last year was bad, and I thought the weapons around him were bad, and the coaching staff wasn't experienced enough. That was a disservice for a rookie quarterback. they made the right move now. I think it works out with Josh McDaniels because he's really good at his job. I think he's one of the best OCs in the NFL. And if Josh could, get the best out of Mac Jones, and if Josh could make it work with Cam Newton, who struggled because of the arm injury, I absolutely think he's going to make it work with Drake May. There's going to have to be some give and take, right? Because Drake is not your prototypical pocket passer like Mac Jones was. He's different, and sometimes he looks better when he's playing this hero ball like Brett Favre style, right? He's running around for 10 seconds in the backfield and throws it. So I think as they get going, Josh is going to have to tailor this offense to what Drake does well. Like I thought he played well when he was throwing downfield to Kayshon Boutte, but sometimes, he's missing these shorter passes, and it's like, all right, you have to sort of deduce, can I teach him to be what I want, or do I have to sort of tailor this to who he is?
All right, I wanted to ask you one thing. You had written about Belichick and him banning the scouts from the Patriots at North Carolina and his history of pettiness while he was in New England. I had a question reading your article, Mark. If his whole notion is, well, if I'm not allowed in their building, why am I going to allow them into ours? Why isn't he doing this, say, with the Atlanta Falcons? Why isn't he doing it with any of the other teams that essentially said, oh, you're not welcome here either, once he was looking for another job in coaching? Why is it limited to the Patriots?
Or how about the Jets, who he hates? He's always hated
the Jets is another great example.
You're telling me the Jets could send their scouts to go watch practice?
Right.
Honestly, the simplest answer might be because the grudge against Robert Kraft, because of the Apple docu-series that he's unhappy about.
It's all that.
Attack. So honestly, I'm sure he's still mad about not being able to keep Matt Patricia back in, what was it, 22, 23.
I was reminded of that reading that, like the fact that he was so pissed off at not being able to keep Patricia on there when essentially everybody looked at it before it went down and said, well, this is a bad idea. And when it turned out to be a horrific idea, he wanted to stick with them and was pissed when they wouldn't let him. That blows my mind.
Yeah, he thought they were making strides toward the end of the season, and I think you look at the final numbers, and they're not horrendous, but anyone who was on that team that year would tell you, it wasn't well organized, and it wasn't a good situation, certainly not for, young quarterbacks in that situation. So, I mean, listen, for him to go to Matt Patricia and then to Bill O'Brien, I think we all at the time applauded the decision and thought it was great, but it was one of many things I think that created a rift between him and Kraft and some other people working in the building. And it's so funny, anytime there's at least back in the day when there was a source story about Bill, there'd always be a shot about Robin Glazier or Jonathan Kraft, and it's oh, I wonder where that came from. But I guess he doesn't have to necessarily play in the shadows anymore, right? He can just come out and ban scouts, and his
how does that hurt the Patriots and benefit him? I understand why he's
on
pissed.
A team that isn't stocked full of draft prospects.
Right.
If anything, it hurts the kids. You're talking about guys who could be UDFAs, and it's scouts' jobs to try to find out who they are as people. To bring them into their organization and give them money. So it just hurts North Carolina, and I think it's just I wrote this. It's just a sad situation because really the guy should be memorialized or idolized right around here for everything he did, and instead he just sort of. It's like a villain type story now.
Yeah, because he's stupid.
Yes.
And that's why. I mean, he's just dumb. It's really crazy how dumb he is. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Just one quick thing about the Patriots roster right now. Everyone wants to know when Christian Gonzalez is going to come back. And this weekend, in theory, you really need him against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But you tweeted something out yesterday I found interesting. There might be clues that he might be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so yesterday they released DJ James, who was honestly one of the better stories of training camp. He made a lot of plays. He made the team really as the fifth cornerback. So I'm like, wait a minute, you're releasing him, but you didn't add another corner to the 53. So that tells me just one of two things. All right, Christian Gonzalez is going to return to practice. He's going to play. And they say, all right, we have Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Alex Austin, Marcus Jones. We're set with our depth. And I guess the boring thing could be, well, what if they just the guy they called up in their practice squad was Corey Ballentine. But, are you really going to release DJ James? What I thought was a promising young quarterback to call up Corey Ballentine, who was a core special teamer. I don't know, guys. I think maybe, hopefully, Christian Gonzalez will be out there when we go to practice later today. But you're right, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you need him. You need him and Carlton Davis, and I thought it showed at times. I didn't think the Pats secondary, other than the big plays, at times they were very competitive, and Alex Austin was competitive. But if you have Christian Gonzalez in that game, who would argue is your best player, maybe those turn out a little differently for you.
All right. Well, there you go. Mark Daniels, something to pay attention to later today. You can read it all on Mass Live. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Anytime.
All right. There you go. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. And the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has refused 4 trademark applications filed by the University of North Carolina coach Bill Belichick and his partner Jordan Hudson. According to a report by ESPN, the trademarks were rejected on the grounds of likelihood of confusion with previously filed trademarks from when Belichick was coach of the New England Patriots. That was the genius is in the parentheses, and I will give you this. The things that were rejected. And now you need a lawyer, which costs money. So money was spent unless he's got one on retainer, and I don't even know how that works. So money was spent to do this. It might have been $5 for all I know. But money had to be paid to somebody to get this even through the system. If you've ever been involved in anything legal, and John has been divorced, so he will know that there are prices to be paid and forms that need to be filled out by people in the know. So while this might sound like a small setback, it is an annoyance that was never going to get approved anyway. So I don't know why the manpower and time wasted in human existence was taken. But here are the trademarks that were denied. Do your job. Parentheses, Bill's version.
Well, do your job is already trademarked. No. Not this version.
Yeah.
It's Bill's version.
Well, how about this? Ignore the noise. Parentheses, Bill's version.
Again, I don't even know if that's something you would want to trademark, but I don't care that it's already been trademarked. This is Bill's version. It's different. It should have been allowed.
One word, streetwear. I'm combining the two. You get Supreme with a new logo. No days off. Parentheses, Bill's version. Which is it's something that it's the anti-Jimmy Buffett. It's, the whole Kenny Chesney, Jimmy Buffett, no shoes vibe, of just like lazing back and enjoying the sunsets. This is the opposite of this. This is for super aggro hustlers.
That no days off chant that they started at the Super Bowl at the parade rally,
yeah.
That had a "Let's go Red Sox" vibe to it.
That's the comparison. It's a direct comparison.
Well, I love the no days off thing because you were trying to get a bunch of people who had taken the day off, A, to chant, and B, it's the most non-fun thing. Only an idiot would do it. Start at a celebration chanting no days off. Like, in the back of his head, he was like, this is going to be like a rallying cry for people.
Yeah.
And it's like the worst message ever that no one would ever want. Who wants to work every day?
And I think that same off season, like on the first day of free agency, he was down at Sandy Lane in Barbados. Like that was right about the time he couldn't be bothered to make it back into the office for the first day of the league year or the first day of free agency. There were a couple of things that he was just AWOL for. Plenty of days off, like immediately following that.
It's a very Andrew Tate kind of message. I wonder if that's already been trademarked. This whole hustle vibe. Pitbull probably has a no days off thing. Very cool influencers. And finally, the Bellustrator, which sadly, parentheses, Bill's version was not. And that was the real moneymaker, was the Bellustrator. Because they can foresee him getting fired or retiring in the offseason, which is what will happen. Is that he will, quote unquote, retire in the offseason. And then Lombardi will spend. You want a prediction? And these often come true. These are not hard sports predictions. These are the specializing. One thing I'm good at is predicting cultural futures. And here's one that I will take. That Bill Belichick will retire, in quotations, at the end of this college football season. And that Mike Lombardi will spend the rest of his life, not the next couple years, the rest of his life, appearing on radio shows and more likely podcasts or streams defending Bill Belichick. And that's how he will die. That will be his sole purpose as a public human being for the rest of his living days, will be to defend Bill Belichick to people that insult him. And people will have him on like Mad Dog did as a almost Dr. Demento style prank. like look at the circus geek that we have on that's going to sit here and we can get him all roughed up.
Pound nails into his forehead.
Yeah, like,
Oh, my goodness.
Like he's not coming off well. Felger and Maz are, their brilliance is their polarizing personalities. He goes on Felger and Maz. No one's rooting for him. Like, he immediately alienates all the audience. Like, it's like if you're going to play a foil, you have to at least have, like, a part of you that is, like, it's like Breaking Bad. It's that, like, heroic, flawed hero. Like, you have to at least.
Anti-hero, yeah.
Like, anti-hero. You have to have at least, like, something. Like, Tony Soprano's, like, a terrible guy. But, he loved those Ducks. Like, there's something, Lombardi just comes in scorch earth in it. Having everyone hate you. These people are just so dumb, and they think they're so smart. This Lombardi sacrificed 15 years of making money so he could walk into this North Carolina job. They're like, he's making $1 million. I'm like, well, for 15 years, he didn't make anything. So $1 million over 15 years for a guy that used to be in the front office of an NFL team. Jesus, that ain't a lot, baby. I got news for you. That ain't a lot. That's less than a teacher makes.
Comes out to about $66,000 a year.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Newton teachers, as they have they can allowed to do, they had a strike. They're making far more than that. So good for Lombardi, sitting back with that $1 million job when he peed away 15 years of his professional life, going on shows to defend the guy for $1 million check at the end of the day.
That's the dumbest narrative.
Yeah,
it's pretty much spot on.
It's
Mike.
so dumb that no one else would hire you but him. That's how smart you are, that no one else would give you a job but him. And when he retires at the end of the year, after a disastrous season, which is, of course, happening, is that what will happen is that no one else, someone else is going to give Lombardi a job?
Where are the great jobs?
That was a question he asked at one point.
Keep looking.
Where are the great jobs? He was defending Belichick, saying, where are the great jobs? Well, he would have taken any one of them. It's certainly not North Carolina.
Called the Jets at the end. He got so desperate.
He
Remember
did.
that?
He called the New York Jets. He poked around to see if they wanted him, and they told him to go screw. That's how far he fell. That terrible organization. All right, we have very exciting news coming up just next.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
that'll be the first ball I probably ever hit.
Sox visit the Athletics one final time this afternoon. They've also called up pitcher Kyle Harrison for the game today. They've placed pitcher Dustin May on the injured list with a sore elbow. Patriots players had yesterday off. They'll be back at practice this afternoon. They visit the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, and they'll see a familiar face on the other sideline. The Dolphins yesterday signed offensive lineman Cole Strange off the Cleveland practice squad. Pittsburgh has signed former Patriots safety and team captain Jabril Peppers. The Steelers will be at Gillette Stadium a week from Sunday. The NFL has suspended Philadelphia defensive lineman Jalen Carter for one game for spitting on Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott. However, since he technically didn't play one snap in the opener last week before he was kicked out of the game, the league is calling that suspension time served. He will play this weekend, and the San Francisco 49ers have placed tight end George Kittle on injured reserve. That means he'll miss at least 4 weeks. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Cortica, providing diagnosis and therapies for autism and developmental delays with locations in Burlington, Danvers, Dedham, Quincy, Shrewsbury, and West Springfield. If you're concerned about your child's milestones, contact Cortica at CorticaCare.com. That's CorticaCare.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy, and you can watch us on YouTube. If you're listening to this in podcast form, you can watch it on YouTube after the show, too. By the way, with North Carolina, you saw that Michael Jordan, Jabril Peppers, I say Jabril Peppers and Michael Jordan because those were the two big names. No, but lots of big, Lawrence Taylor, like a lot of luminaries, alumni of the school in attendance. North Carolina returns home at 3:30 on Saturday. Ticket price $40 to get in. But that's not, in fairness to North Carolina, if you're a Boston College fan traveling to Stanford, you can get in for $9.
Yeah.
Now,
different vibe.
This is all Clemson because I lived in Atlanta for 8 years. Clemson's at Georgia Tech. Get-in's $106. Getting into a Georgia Tech game was just a matter of getting there. Like, when Calvin Johnson was on Georgia Tech, you just walk in the stadium. Like, it was a very loose affair. So I will give them some credit, but Pitt at West Virginia rivalry, $206 get-in price. In West Virginia, that's like a year's salary. So no joke there, but that's a big, obviously, local rivalry, the Pittsburgh-West Virginia matchup. And I do want an exercise for when Alex Barth comes on next break. I want you to look at the NFL schedule and give me, in your opinion, if the Patriots game is the worst game on the schedule. Because to me, it's a tight race. It's certainly in the conversation, but I would like you to get to know your opinion. But now it is time to focus on other matters.
We interrupt this program for breaking news.
I can't use it.
Newsflash.
All right, so we are doing the news. A lot of big news going on. Hardy, what is this one?
I believe we are starting in a place in Kentucky.
Yes.
Yes, we're starting in Kentucky. This is a news story about a woman who was called into action to apply her professional services in an uncommon way.
All right, so here we go.
When fermented peaches turned a dumpster into danger.
That's how you make liquor. You get one of them bags from commissary, put some old peaches in there with some water and sugar. Make yourself some jailhouse wine.
When fermented peaches turned a dumpster into danger, longtime Letcher County nurse Misty Combs stepped in to save the day.
Misty Combs, not porn, but someone from the wildlife angel. Imagine naming your daughter Misty.
There are only a couple of lanes you can drive after that.
Can you? That is almost entirely a stripper name, dude. When you hear like Misty Combs, doesn't that?
Yeah.
Does anyone not think porn star?
80s adult film star.
You all thought that, right?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I get accused of like, oh, you're like obsessing on porn. And I don't even watch that much porn. I really don't. I'm 50. I really don't watch much pornography. And because I'm getting accused lately of talking about it a lot, I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page with this. I'm not on an island, because perhaps maybe I am obsessed and I just don't know.
It is truly the kind of story that makes you say, only in Kentucky.
Oh, it's involving inbreeding. And then West Virginia says, no.
Wait a minute.
No.
Step aside.
We have hill people, too. So you get out of the way. We're terrible. And then Arkansas steps up and says, we're pretty bad.
Hey.
And then you got Louisiana say, you take New Orleans out of here. We're as inbred as anyone else. And then now you got a war, a culture war. Everyone's listening to Rogan and all right, here we go.
I've had some pretty crazy days, but no, nothing like this.
And she is a professional.
Baby.
She's never danced.
Here we go.
I've had some pretty crazy days.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have, honey. She's 25 with an 18-year-old.
Just when Misty Combs thought she'd seen it all in her 21 years of nursing,
Oh, it's baby stuck is why.
a dumpster diving drunk turned up at the health department.
So our health department is right beside of Kentucky Miss Moonshine.
Shocking.
Wait, what?
That the health department where the woman works is right next to Kentucky Mist Moonshine.
Right beside of. No.
Okay, what is Kentucky Mist Moonshine? Does it describe it, what
Yes.
it is, or are we
Yes.
to know? Okay.
Department is right beside of Kentucky Miss Moonshine, which is a distillery. And they had put some fermented peaches in their dumpster. And I guess the two baby raccoons had got into the dumpster and they were stuck.
Drunk as a skunk, try tipsy as a trash panda.
Hey.
See, the raccoon is trash panda.
Oh, okay. I thought that they were just talking about this one particular panda that was wearing very low-cut halter top. They were just calling the panda trash. Had too much eye makeup on.
Oh, it's baby stuck.
I'm
It's
sure this
breach.
woman's a delight. But can't you hear this woman, like you're having dinner and she says something like in a very nice way that's like incredibly racist? You're like, oh. No, that's the rub.
I went over there and I was like, we have to get them out. And I mean, because I guess that was just like the motherly instinct in me. Like I seen that mama and she was trying so hard to get her babies back, but she didn't know what to do.
Combs grabbed a shovel and scooped out the first raccoon, reuniting it with its mom.
Which is a lot of how it goes down in trailer parks a lot. They will sometimes lose their offspring
in a dumpster.
In a dumpster, and they'll have to get a shovel out.
Wait a minute. Where's Phil?
Yeah. Phil, get the shovel. We got another one stuck. I lost him. That rascal got loose and got into the fermented peaches.
I don't got to get it. I never put it away the first time.
Now, by the way, we're right next to a Kentucky Manson moonshine situation, which doesn't have to be described on the local news because everyone knows immediately what it is.
Y'all know Kentucky Mist Moonshine.
It doesn't have to be described on the news. It's just, of course, they're next to the Kentucky Miss Moonshine.
Kentucky Miss Moonshine.
Which is what Jordan Hudson tried to be before Miss Maine.
No, not Miss
Moonshine?
Mist
M-I-S-
Moonshine.
Oh, I thought it was Miss Moonshine.
No.
It was like a chick with one eye.
No, it's not a separate pageant.
You got it wrong.
It's not a separate pageant or title that can be held in the
It's
state
for
of Kentucky.
irresponsible mothers. All right, very good. All right, here we go.
But the second one was in deep moonshine. Without hesitation, she grabbed him by the tail and laid him down.
Everybody that was around was like, it's dead. I mean, it's just not going to make it. And it was not breathing.
Which is why the coffins in Kentucky have so many scratches on the inside, is because every time they take a body out, they go, oh, whoopsie daisies, we did it again.
So
everyone just assumed it's dead.
The video now is it's just a voiceover of someone shot a video of her trying to revive the raccoon, which essentially was her leaning over it and slapping it on the chest.
Yeah. Wake up. This is on the news. I had raccoons in my trash, you'll recall, and I bravely didn't call the police. I knocked it over. And a policeman, I told you the policeman came by and was like...
Police were
like
more than willing to help.
And they saluted me. They were like, We heard you.
Way to go, Fred.
They did?
A little chuck on the arm.
I got one. I got a little Newton Police gave me a little that-a-boy because I did it. I handled it on my own. They got out unharmed.
Well done.
Thank you.
And it had drowned, and it was full of water. Like, you could feel the water in it. So, I mean, immediately I just...
Was she Helen Keller? Was there water? You don't think... What, you had to feel it? You had to feel the water. There was water. I could feel it.
I was trying to communicate with the little critter, so I started making sign language in its paw. That way, because it couldn't see me, so I just wanted it to feel the symbols.
You know Morse code? I am friend. I am friend. Come on, little fella. I feel the water.
So, I mean, immediately I just started doing CPR on it.
And then Ned started praying on it.
Suddenly, a sign of life.
Come on! Come on, baby! Come on! The entire time I was doing it, I was sort of afraid that it would come to and eat me up. And, you know, raccoons carry rabies, so I was afraid of that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. She is a professional.
Fish and Wildlife responded before the town drunk turned into a mean drunk. They transported the little guy to get sobered up at the local vet. When Otis Campbell, named for the infamous Andy Griffith Show character, of course.
Oh, it all
Hardy just
around.
perked up.
And she pronounced it correctly. Andy Griffith.
Which is a big red flag. Hardy thinks...
Just said it.
The last name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got it. Campbell.
Thank you.
You want to know how old he was? I just saw a video.
Oh, he's like 30?
46 or something. Yeah. It was like how old dudes were in 50s sitcoms.
No.
And they were explaining why they look so old. Yeah. And part of it's haircut and suit when All in the Family came out.
God.
Yeah.
Made his return to the health department, Combs had the honor of reuniting him with his family.
Goodbye, Otis. I was tickled to death that it was able to join its mom again.
And then they were at dinner. They were served to a feast for the local homeless.
Moving to Kentucky.
Gonna eat a lot of
peaches.
I'm moving to
the distillery.
Gonna eat me a lot of
fermented peaches. I've had some pretty crazy days.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a lot of fun. All right, what is the next story? We have time.
Okay, good. Let's go to Florida, of all places, in a retirement community where you wouldn't think something like this would happen, but see if you can tell what's happening in this first clip.
Okay, so the first clip is a short one to figure out what's happening. Here we go.
An idiot! What is wrong with you?
Oh, well, I don't dare to venture a guess. For I don't want it to come back and ruin me.
It is a woman and a man. They both live in the same retirement community. I will tell you that the man is walking his dog. It appears to be close to this woman's property. And what happens? Listen to it again.
Okay, let me get back, because I would have guessed a drunken golf cart accident, but that doesn't sound correct.
An idiot! What is wrong with you?
And she's shooting at him.
With?
That doesn't sound like a real gun, a pellet gun.
Close. Go ahead, play the story.
Also tonight, a man shot in the face with a flare gun. Police say it happened.
I didn't know a flare gun goes bap, 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 bap.
Well, I think it's got a long report as the flare is shooting out. It's, you know.
Yeah, people getting pretty hyped up on their property. Like in Florida, like there's a lot of it's the same thing with Brookline. Like, you're on my property. Now, Brookline, they call the police. In Florida, there's just a lot of shooting. People are so paranoid of you're on my property. I can do whatever I want to you. Like, no, I know that doesn't sound like a good law. Like in a community, like if you're in the woods and you've isolated yourself and someone like a Vermont farmer, and then someone comes on your property, kill him. But you're in some neighborhood.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's a neighborhood.
What is wrong with you?
There is. Yeah, what is wrong with her? Like, if you're in I never understood that in Florida. It's all these shootings. You're on my property. Well, we're in a neighborhood.
The property is literally a foot away from the other property.
No, it's a community.
We're all on top of each other.
Yeah, we're allowed to walk around and stuff. And even if I don't live here, I'm allowed to walk around. It doesn't give you You're not your own sovereign nation. Like you own the property. Like people can't develop it and do things to it you don't want. But they're allowed around.
Not allowed on my driveway because I got a flare gun.
They should put her in jail till she dies. I'm not kidding. And not because she's old. Well, you live a long time now. So people in my parents' community not much older than me.
Oh, God.
Seriously, I used to go there and be like, wow, all these people are really old. And now I go there and I'm like, some of these people are really old. Perspective.
Also tonight, a man shot in the face with a flare gun. Police say it happened in West Babylon on Monday. The victim is recovering as the suspect appeared.
Babylon. Ironic, huh?
In court Tuesday. News 12's Logan Crawford was there.
Unbelievable. I mean, where do you get a flare gun?
Police say 76-year-old Kathleen Schumann of West Babylon shot her neighbor in the face with a flare gun Monday.
I take it back. This is actually New York. This is not Florida. Okay. I was thinking retirement community. Oh, that's Florida. No, it's New York.
Well, then it just got infinitely sadder.
Police say it happened at a West Babylon 55 and older community.
Oh, yeah,
Long Island.
Okay, so John could be in it. John could be in this community.
Oh, yeah, I could be there in 8 months.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
55 and over.
Oh.
Why would you retire at 55 if you have to live in a New York retirement community?
That's the thing. I mean, I'm retired fine, but not there.
No, if you retire at 55, you would assume that you had made a great fortune.
And go somewhere warm, an island or at least a place.
Well, if you're retiring at 55, I'd assume that you have millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Some island in the Mediterranean somewhere. Yeah.
I tell you what.
There.
I'll tell you why I would live there. It looks to be about a 20-minute drive from Bethpage. I'll think about it. I'll start looking up West Babylon.
Is that in Comac?
Right now.
Where my people are from? Is that central Long Island?
Yeah. How far west east are we talking on the island there?
When my mother was born, that was farmland.
Near Farmingdale?
Kings Park in that situation at all? That's where the Toucher clan
it appears
is from.
to be
or the Cooks.
A little east of Massapequa.
All right. That sounds like more highfalutin.
Nah, closer to the east side of Long Island, I think.
Okay.
Or the west side, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah. The beautiful waterfront area.
Police say it happened at a West Babylon 55 and older community where Schumann and the victim live. Neighbors say the two were fighting.
I've known her a while, and, she's really calm.
Police have not said what led up to Schumann allegedly firing the flare gun. In court, she denied the accusations.
We don't know the reason why, and I don't know the people. So I'm just sorry it happened, and it's unfortunate.
The victim was...
I believe her, too.
Good we got that witness's testimony there. I don't know what happened. I don't know the people. Good. Glad we included that in the story.
But she's like old school New York.
Good job.
She's like old school New York, though. Like, I didn't see nothing. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not involved. She's smart. She's not getting mixed up in the situation. She doesn't know who's involved.
And I don't know the people, so I'm just sorry it happened.
I thought this was the woman who they're alleging shot the firearm, but that's not it.
No.
And I was going to say, I believe her. I believe that she doesn't know. Sounds like the lady who shot the flare gun probably shouldn't have. Why do you have a flare gun in your house?
That may be the best question of all. There's no reason to have a flare gun in your house.
No, and not like a road flare.
Maybe she's a big boater. Maybe she's just picked it up at the boat show there in Newport, and then she's just
forgot to put it in the boat, which is in the driveway.
Next time she goes out on the water, sure.
And it's unfortunate.
The victim was taken to the hospital, and police say the flare caused substantial pain and physical injury. The judge set bail for Schumann at $5,000 cash and ordered her to stay away from the victim. Logan Crawford, News 12.
Thank you.
I don't want to be shot in the face with a flare gun. Nope. I'm on the victim side here. I don't care what he did, short of forcing his way into the home. That is not the crime did not fit the punishment. Let's say that. All right, Alex Barth will join us. We will have him in just a moment.
Millions of peaches for raccoons. Millions of peaches for raccoons. It's dead.
Scott. Hello.
So, hey, one thing about that Julian Edelman podcast is if he did get on Boston radio and he took phone calls, it would be great for me because I could call in all the time. If he took my call, it gives me unbelievable strength to, like, get up and do my thing around the neighborhood. I recognized Mike O'Brien, the duck tour guy, the other day. It was like a huge feeling to feel like I was part of the show. That's the whole point of radio is to take phone calls and let people interact. That's why most of the stuff is on podcast now because any clown is doing it. Radio is the best outlet for the fans. It's the best outlet for the people. It's the most profitable for advertisers. Anybody that's not on radio is a literal no one,
All right, Blind Scott. That is a big endorsement of radio. Blind Scott has been on hold for now like 3 weeks. So I decided
Not
that
3 hours.
No. Blind Scott's just on hold. So you gotta honor that. I mean, if the guy's going to call in every day, and he doesn't say anything bad. I mean, if he's going to stay on hold every day for 4 hours, you have to let him talk.
Staying on hold and staying ready. I mean, he lets it rip as soon as you pick him up. That's
a caller.
That's right.
It's true. There's no hesitation. Oh my God, he's picking it up.
That's a very human thing.
Good point,
if a guy's just sitting on hold every day for 4 hours a day, regardless of what he's going to say, it needs to be taken. Scott is a huge fan of radio. He's a big caller to the Ben Maller Show. He's on every night. It's almost like he's a co-host of the Ben Maller Show. He loves Ben Maller. All right, Alex Barth is someone who everyone loves. He, of course, covers all things sports for 98.5thesportshub.com, but he loves the Patriots more than all. And you can see it on YouTube, 98.5thesportshub.com. Millions of hits on that. Everyone loves Alex Barth. Alex, hello, sir.
Hey, Fred. Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's going good. We were talking to Mark Daniels a little bit earlier because we like to get a lot of you guys, you experts in and get analysis. And he had an interesting answer to this question. I want to get your take on it. Is, the big conversation after week one, after Monday night, is the Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy. Caleb Williams started that game. I mean, you should hear these Bears fans. I mean, they already want to move on from Caleb Williams. He starts that game 10 for 10. He looks electric. He falters at the end. He's skittish. J.J. McCarthy's historically bad the first three quarters and then has this heroic fourth quarter performance. Let's put Jalen Daniels on an island. So it's Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Caleb Williams. Not an exercise of who would you take, but where do you put May in their development right now in relation to those people?
So if we're talking in terms of how much room does he have left to grow, right? If I were to do it that way, Bo Nix is at the bottom of that list, certainly. I think May and McCarthy are probably relatively similar. They would be in the middle of that. Caleb Williams is an interesting one in that he's already really good at what some would argue is the hardest part of playing quarterback, which is making those off-script plays when, the play design doesn't work and running around and extending and throwing on the run. He's really good at that, which is the hardest part of the hardest position. It's just the rest of it. He still needs to learn. And on one hand, it's okay, well, if he can figure out the hard part, he should be able to figure out the easy parts, but it still doesn't look very different. So is he learning? He's much more of an unknown to me. I think in theory he has the most room to grow, but we haven't necessarily seen the growth from him. And it's not to say we've seen a ton of growth from May either, going back to the end of last year to the start of week one, but Williams was first overall pick, tabbed to be generational. There's supposed to be more of a ceiling there.
Yeah, okay. So were you disappointed by May's performance on Sunday, or with the new coordinator and his age and his experience, what was your feeling as that game was being played out?
So I actually thought the first half was solid. I was a little higher on the first half than most people, and then he throws the interception, and I thought he completely changed after that pick. And whether it was him kind of being nervous and getting more conservative, whether it was McDaniels getting nervous about the turnover, getting more conservative, it's probably a little bit of both. I thought he looked like he didn't use his skills to his best advantage. He got very checked down happy. We didn't see him use his legs as much. And that was the biggest disappointment to me. Something he did, I thought, really well in the summer was when he would make a mistake, and he didn't make a lot of mistakes this summer, but when he did, he would bounce back and finish the day strong. And that's not as easy as it sounds. You have to have a short memory as a quarterback. And I thought that was really encouraging. So to come out in the first game, start off well, make a mistake, and then kind of let that snowball and affect him the rest of the way, that was the biggest disappointment for me in his performance, because it's night and day pre-interception and post-interception.
How long is that excuse viable, Alex? We're talking about the maturation of a quarterback that didn't have as many starts in college as some of his contemporaries. But how long is that allowed to be an excuse? Oh, he got flustered. Oh, but it's all part of the maturation process.
So I can't give you an exact date. I did write about this a little bit this morning on 98.5thesportshub.com. Look, some quarterbacks are Jaden Daniels, and they come in the league, and they're awesome. And good for those guys. Some other guys take a little bit longer, even guys that go on to be high-level quarterbacks. And Josh Allen's obviously the poster child for this, but you see it a little bit with Joe Burrow. You see it a little bit with Justin Herbert, with Jalen Hurts. And even if they were fine their first year, that leap that a lot of these guys take to get to that next level, it comes about midway through year 2, anywhere from week 5 to week 9. So that's where I'm at with Drake May right now. I don't think he needed to play his best game of the season yesterday or Sunday to prove anything. You don't want him to play his best game of the season week 1. Mac Jones famously did that his third year against the Eagles. You want him to get better as the season goes on. But October into early November is when you want to see some signs that he's figuring it out and he's putting it together and there's growth there, because guys that don't take the jump there usually end up stagnant until you get, the Baker Mayfields and the Geno Smiths and the Sam Darnolds that have to change teams in order to hit that level. And obviously that doesn't help the Patriots.
The Justin Fields of the world.
Yeah. Alex, I like the piece you wrote on 98.5thesportshub.com about the real or fake things that we saw from game 1 and how much, we can expect to see them for the rest of the season. I won't spoil it. I'll let you unveil and reveal Kayshon Boutte's performance. Was that real or fake?
I think that was pretty real for a week 1 thing, and because it's what he did in camp. And I thought what was so good for him in this camp, in the past years, he'd flashed, but then he'd go 3, 4, 5 days without a catch. And the consistency just wasn't there. You saw the talent, but he didn't bring it consistently. This year in camp, it was, he'd have 2 to 3 to 4 catches every day. And they weren't necessarily all these deep balls, highlight catches. It was a lot of what you saw on Sunday. Get over the middle, get open, create a window for the quarterback, move the chains. And to see that carry over into the regular season, I think is really encouraging. Now, it'll be interesting to see if teams pay more attention to him in coverage moving forward. I thought Pop Douglas, Travion Henderson got a little more of the coverage attention on Sunday. But given that he did that in camp, going back to seeing what he did at LSU and knowing there were some injuries in between, I feel, is he going to have 100 yards every week? Probably not. Do I think he's a guy that, as the season goes on, can be a reliable chain mover and give them some of these chunk intermediate 10 to 25 yard plays? Yeah, I think he might be somebody that Drake May can lean on a little bit.
Okay, why did the team stop running the ball in the second half?
That's an excellent question, Fred, and I'm still trying to figure that one out. Look, the run game as they were running it wasn't working, and I've criticized especially West Coast coaches a lot for being more than willing to bang their head against a wall when something's not working just because they're confident they have hubris in their game plan, right? And I think you need to adjust, but there's a middle ground between, okay, the run game we designed isn't working, let's not run the ball at all. The stat that jumps out to me, according to PFF, they only ran to the right side once. And Morgan Moses and Mike Nguyen were plus run blockers. So I don't know if they were nervous about Max Crosby running over there. I would have at least tested him. And at the very least, if you don't have success running over there, you maybe upset his timing.
Well, yeah, but isn't that the
pass rusher?
Isn't that when someone has an elite pass rusher, isn't the idea to run at them? Because at least with TJ Watt, the idea was if you're running away from him, he's so good coming from the other side that he can chase down plays, that the strategy was to run at him. So am I wrong there? Is that not what a lot of people do, or what am I wrong? You can tell me I'm wrong.
No, that can be a strategy, not necessarily the backside thing. That's a TJ Watt thing. But if you run at him, he's got to be more disciplined in his run lane, and that's half a step when the ball's snapped, that he has to read run or pass, that he can't just pin his ears back and go. And again, they're two better, I think, run blockers are over there, just as opposed to two rookies, right? So that's what surprised me the most. They had to change something. The run game was not working. They weren't getting any push the way they were running the ball. I don't fault them for recognizing that and making a change. I would have tried to run the ball to the right side before I gave up on it entirely.
Now, who do you like? Travion Henderson didn't get a lot of touches. We all know that he's very talented. We saw him flash in the preseason. You saw him throughout training camp. Do you think? Why do you think he touched the ball? He didn't get more touches in that game.
So he actually led the team in touches. It just doesn't feel like it because of what the touches were, right? He only had 5 carries. They only called 13 designed runs. So
which is amazing.
Right. Proportionally, he got about the number of carries he should probably get, I would say. But yeah, it doesn't, like, I understand why you say that. It doesn't feel like a lot. In the passing game, he had 6 catches. A lot of them were screens that got blown up because the Raiders were sitting on it. So I actually think the number of touches is there for him. That's more or less, he led the team in touches. So that's more or less where I want him to be. I think the ways in which they're using him might need a change, especially when I think the Raiders were sitting on him. I think he was one of the players that the Raiders had circled in that game and said,
we brought that up.
Let this guy beat us.
The Chip Kelly connection. The Chip Kelly with him at Ohio State, we had brought that up and then been mocked. But here we are with Alex Barth, who is on the same page, which I enjoy because it's a subtle victory for us.
Very, very quickly, Alex.
We got him for another break.
Oh, well then I'll shush.
Let's let it breathe.
He was going to be in studio, but he got caught up in this traffic. I told you when I was coming to work today, it was like 3 maniacs.
Yeah.
At different, not a long commute either, and there was 3 maniacs. So that's why I said have him go back and do it on Zoom.
Yeah. Those maniacs might be waiting for him. You never know.
That's right. I can't have him die on me.
That's right.
That's right. I can't have that blood on my hands. So we
appreciate you looking out for me, Fred.
Well, listen, I'm here, buddy.
Everybody likes Alex.
I'm like a bodyguard for you. All right, look, we'll be back. We still have Alex. Here are the headlines.
try to stay away from the
Patriots and so much more for 98.5thesportshub.com. Alex, this Miami team, you hear the talk of them nationally. It's a real dumpster fire. McDaniels, who I like, this seems like a lame duck season for him. You have Tyreek Hill spazzing out on the sidelines. You
got accused of domestic abuse yesterday.
Yeah, I mean there's a whole lot of stuff with him. I don't know if they can move him. I don't know if. Do you think anyone would take Tyreek Hill right now?
I wouldn't put it past the Chiefs. That's probably it, but I wouldn't put it past the Chiefs.
Okay, and what do you got to give up? Like a seventh? Like how do you what? You have to give something. There has to be a trade. But it's almost like obscene at a certain point. So it would be funny to see or odd to see what Miami would get in return because there has to be something. But you're essentially doing them a favor at this point. So it would be interesting to see. But look, suffice it to say that nationally, I would feel that team, it might not be the worst team, but it's certainly the team in the worst position. At this early point in the season, you're going into Miami where you've struggled as a franchise. How important is this game to you? Like, how much of a litmus test is this for you with this team?
I don't know how much of a litmus test it is, but it is important because you're coming back. You've got the Steelers who looked really good in week 1 and week 3. You get the Bills in week 5. It can snowball on you pretty quickly. Miami's a beatable team. Even for all the Patriots' struggles historically down there, it's a beatable team. This team feels like it's on the verge of a full-on implosion if it's not there already. The Patriots are supposed to be a team that's kind of coming out of that thing where last year, obviously, it was not good inside the building. The culture was not good. Mike Vrabel was supposed to come here and fix it. This is the kind of team that a team that's just solid and rounded out on the edges beats. And you go back to what Mike Vrabel said in his introductory press conference, taking advantage of bad football. The Dolphins are going to play bad football on Sunday. That's going to happen. Can the Patriots take advantage of it? The Raiders played bad football at times this past Sunday. The Patriots did not do enough to take advantage. But this is I guess if you want to talk about it as a litmus test, I think maybe not for the talent on the field, because, again, Miami doesn't have much on the other side. But in terms of the culture Mike Vrabel's instilling, a place you've had trouble winning against a division opponent that you should know well, this is the kind of game this team should win.
All right, I gave you the exercise now because I want you to participate in this. Is the New England at Miami game the worst game of the weekend in everyone's estimation? And if not, what is? As you look at the schedule.
There's some games that might be like blowouts, but they feature a team that you might, be more inclined to watch for the talent. The only other game in terms of just the level of competition across the board, Panthers-Cardinals at 4 o'clock. I know the Cardinals won last week. That Saints team is awful, and they only beat them by a touchdown. I would probably go Panthers-Cardinals, but Patriots-Dolphins, I don't know if they're – Patriots-Dolphins probably second.
I agree. After a great week 1, there are some stinkers, but you can't put Jacksonville on there because they have Travis Hunter, and that by itself is like a circus show. So you can't include them. That's a pretty bad game. There's games that I certainly wouldn't watch. Like I wouldn't watch Los Angeles at Tennessee. But
Seattle at Pittsburgh, that's going to be boring as hell.
It's going to be a boring game, but you have Aaron Rodgers. So, but John, I mean, that's
also
more
DK
compelling.
Metcalf versus the Seahawks. There's some stuff going on.
Yeah, that's like a compelling matchup. I mean, Seattle should have been a playoff team last year. I mean, Pittsburgh's one of the more interesting stories in football. I mean, Cleveland at Baltimore. Can Baltimore bounce back? There's storylines with all this stuff. It's just interesting. I think it's an interesting exercise throughout the season to see how these games go, because the last few seasons have been so boring that my hope is by doing this exercise, the Patriot games and level of interest start rising gradually as the season goes on.
But the overall point is correct. The Patriots did not play well last weekend. They don't have a lot of compelling athletes other than Travion Henderson that you want to see. And, you look at Miami. Miami might be the worst team in the National Football League.
I think Miami might have the number 1 pick in the draft. I know New Orleans is bad, but Miami seems to be a worse situation. Could you see them having the number 1 pick in the draft, not by trade?
Yeah, no, I did this a couple weeks ago. Just kind of my short list going into the season was the Saints, the Dolphins, the Browns, I had a fourth team on there, but I don't remember what it was. But those three,
Probably
like,
the Jets.
that could be in whatever order, 1, 2, 3. I might have had the Jets on there, honestly. The defense is too good. The defense will win them.
Yeah.
They're the Jets. They'll win just enough games that they won't get the pick they need to get the
He's got a point.
You have a point. And by the way, the opposite is what happened last week. The offense was fantastic. The defense is what let them down. So who knows? They'll find a way to lose. You don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be in that top 10.
It could be anything.
The kick return could get hurt, and the guy that replaces him could fumble. That's true.
That guy's got released today, by the way.
Yeah, and I could have told you he was going to get released. He was hanging on by a thread as it was. You can't fumble a kickoff and cost your team the game and stick around. All right, Alex. Well, look, I'm rooting for the Patriots this weekend. I'm hoping that they have some success in Miami. It would be a real governor on the season if they don't.
Well, that was the thing. Like, what would your level of concern be for the rest of the season? You know, no one expected him to go out to a 4 or 5-0 start, but you lose that opener, which a lot of people thought at the very least they had a good chance in. And
everyone thought they were going to win. Let's be honest.
Not
us.
So not everyone.
But most of the writers did. Huh? What's that, Alex?
They were favored.
Yeah, they were favored in that game.
So
absolutely.
What's your overall level of concern season-wise? Should they not be able to get a win on Sunday?
I mean, it would make it tremendously difficult for them to make the playoffs. The track records of teams starting 0-2 and getting in is pretty slim, and I don't think they're a lot of those are extenuating circumstances. Players were hurt or whatever, quarterback change, so that playoff chase thing now becomes much more of a long shot. I think they need.
I'm not even talking playoffs. I'm talking what's your level of concern for another 4-13 season?
There's just so many October after the Bills is such a weak part in the schedule. Yeah. I think they should be able to get to at least 6, even if things go pretty poorly. Okay. But in terms of having relevant football in December, right? I think they probably need to start 2-2 to get there. The Panthers game should still be winnable, but this is, even being on the road, I think this might be a more winnable game than the Steelers. So I think this is when they really need it.
Yeah, they have a real soft. Oh boy, they better be pretty good because I'll tell you what, he's right. That October stretch is nauseating.
Yeah. So I mean, if
you're not getting anything from the other side, so
if you're going to keep doing that exercise of the worst game on the schedule, if they don't get out to a hot start here, there might be a few weeks they have that.
You got that right because
it Saints, Titans, Browns, right?
Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, and Penix, I guess. But it's not a murderer's row there. I mean, and you're talking the worst thing than bad is boring. Boring and bad. That's boring and win is great. Boring and bad. You can't have that again. They can't. They don't want it. They can't have it again. They got it.
Seasons, man. They lose. I told you this earlier this week. They have back-to-back 4-win seasons, and if they lose this one, Alex, I understand what you're saying, but I would be very scared that the tailspin would fall.
Well, I'm at the crass. I'm pissed because now it's everything sucks. You beat the Panthers 16-14. That's horrible. It's just bad. All right. Anyway, I don't want to get off. They haven't done anything bad yet. Maybe they win 40-0.
Let's wait till Monday.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think they win in Miami. I really do.
I hope so.
I'm not betting on it, but I do think that.
By the way,
win.
the line, which started at 2.5, is now down to 1.5 in favor of Miami.
Well, there were the domestic abuse allegations, I guess, that favor the Dolphins. Yeah. All right. Look, Alex Barth, read him at 985thesportshub.com. Alex, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Anytime.
All right. A legend is retiring, and look now, a media take turns out to be true. Foreshadowing on the show yesterday, and then news breaks right after the show. And that's a check in the box for the show, our show. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
At Boston Logan, they're building the airport of the future for you today.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
23-year-old rookie right-hander Connerly Early threw 5 shutout innings and struck out 11 in his major league debut last night in front of his family, and the Red Sox beat the Athletics in Sacramento again, this time 6-0.
They've been with me every step of the way, and they've always been here for my best interest. And just being able to have them here is amazing, and have them see, me go out there and take that mound. And I mean, I know that they probably have about it and everything, and we're definitely fired up at some spots, so it's great to have them here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them.
Sox will wrap up this 3-game series today. They're currently tied with the Yankees for first place in the American League wild card race, and the Yankees come to Fenway Park for a 3-game series on Friday night. Dustin May was supposed to start last night, but was placed on the injured list. Also, pitcher Kyle Harrison will reportedly be called up from Worcester today. Patriots players will be back at practice this afternoon. They got a road game coming up Sunday against Miami. The team will also face a couple of their former players in the next 2 weeks. The Dolphins yesterday signed offensive lineman Cole Strange off the Cleveland practice squad, and Pittsburgh will be here a week from Sunday. They signed former Patriots safety and team captain Jabril Peppers yesterday. Getting back to the Dolphins, wideout Tyreek Hill's been accused of 8 counts of domestic violence by his estranged wife. And the NFL yesterday suspended Philadelphia defensive lineman Jalen Carter for 1 game. He spat on Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott, but the NFL rules because he didn't play a snap last week. It's time served. He can play this Sunday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Albrecht Auto Group, Zoe's Auto Dealer. Purchase any new vehicle from one of their 8 dealerships and get the Albrecht Advantage, a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty backed by Allstate Insurance. Connect with Albrecht at albrechtauto.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Yesterday, we played a little bit of audio. Now, my take on this whole situation was that Ryan Clark, who does want to be GM, I might have gotten him a little mixed up with someone else, but he does. Hardy has found the evidence. He does want to be an agent, and I was hearing like clips of him, and I was thinking he's losing his mind. He's like very frustrated about something, and it was before what happened 2 days ago. So this isn't like the greatest clip of it, but it's a little indicative of what I was talking about. It's at least the conversation. This conversation on TV in 2025 had devolved into some debate about Peyton Manning. And like I can't remember, but it didn't start with this.
Devolve is the right word.
But it got into, is Peyton Manning a generational talent? Now, I get it on Sports Talk Radio. You have 4 hours to fill. It's kind of a hacky thing even then. But I could see if it came up in a conversation. But these are guys that got to fill 5 minutes at a time. Like, how does something devolve into this? And Ryan Clark lost his mind. This audio isn't of him losing his mind, but it's just a little piece of it.
I think John Elway was a generational talent. I think Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent. I don't think Tom Brady, I don't think Drew Brees, I don't think Peyton Manning are generational talents. I think Andrew Luck ended up being a generational talent. I don't think there's a ton of them out there.
But so then what? Then how does one, in your eyes, be a generational talent?
So it devolves into this thing, and what you don't hear is like Clark like really loses it. Like he starts going nuts, and it's just such a weird thing to get worked up about. And he's been popping off a little bit, like he popped off on Robert Griffin III, because Robert Griffin III like said something about a WNBA player, and he said, "You can't relate to black women because you married a white woman." Now,
that I agree with.
That I don't. There seem to be no repercussions. So cool, that's great. I like that you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
but it's odd that didn't raise anyone's feathers up. I mean, it's cool that you can say this kind of stuff now, but I mean, I'm not telling you that. I'm not saying you should be in trouble. It's great. You can say whatever you want, but let's have it be that we can all say whatever we want now. You know, like we're not in.
You just say the wildest, most overtly offensive racist
Right.
stuff and not really get in trouble anymore.
Like attack a guy's wife for being white, and then like that's cool. Like I mean, as long as we're and Robert Griffin III is black, if you don't know, so like there's like a little bit of everything for everyone. But nonetheless, this is what we.
It's
played.
like a reverse Jefferson's Neighbors situation, which you could comment on 40 years ago on network television, but for a long time you couldn't. But now you can again.
I'm sure it's something a lot of people think, and I'm guessing.
I don't know if they do.
You don't. I'm assuming if Ryan Clark said this, it's something that was being said in private conversations. What do I know about who Robert Griffin III's wife is? I don't know who she was. None of this meant anything to me. I'm just assuming if he was that quick to know he had a white wife, it wasn't like top the dome. Everyone needs to get off Twitter. I swear to God, dude. It's where all these mistakes are made. All right. So anyways, this happened on the air 2 days ago, and we played it, and I said, he doesn't seem right mentally. And this is what happened.
4 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown has had a better day than CeeDee Lamb?
You know what you wake up saying, though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course.
Right, that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this, though, and we shouldn't do this on TV. And so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, stop. CeeDee Lamb is...
Let me tell you why. I'm not saying...
I'm not looking at fantasy football. Ryan, I'm not... Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing, and give an alternative perspective, that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee Lamb.
Which is interesting because the thing that you have to get out of the ex-players that are ultimately the analysts is you have to get the player out of them.
Yes.
You have to get them to forget their relationships and
maintain their expertise and their intrinsic knowledge of the game without that fear of offending and violating any locker room code.
So Yahoo Sports did this story after the show yesterday, and it says, I want to read you 2 things because one is a BS thing that people do, which is garbage. ESPN is facing pressure from fans to punish Clark. Oh, are they? Get the hell out of here with that. You went on Twitter and people were mad at him? Stop it. Like that's such a ridiculous thing for a journalist to write. Fans are they? Did you poll them? How the hell do you know? What, people on Twitter are pissed about something? Show me the thing they like. Would you go on Reddit and figured it out? Like, go to the Howard Stern Reddit page or the Joe Rogan Reddit page and read the terrible things people say about them. And those are guys making hundreds of millions of dollars. But this is what's interesting. They are facing pressure internally. According to a report from Outkick, which is now aligned with Fox Sports, ESPN is facing internal pressure to do something about Clark. Bobby Burack, the great Bobby Burack, reports that some ESPN talents do not want to work with Clark. Further, various ESPN talents have expressed Outkick since Saturday that they don't want to work alongside Clark, citing his lack of impulse control. Aha! This came out after the show.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I don't watch any of this. What was in I pulled it out of the ether.
What'd you do?
Well done.
Pulled it out of the ether.
Not really a pulling sound.
That's how I pull, baby. They don't want to work alongside Clark. That's for the YouTube people. They don't want to work alongside Clark, citing his lack of impulse control and professionalism. He's losing his mind. He really is. You got to keep it together. A total of 15 minutes. Let's be honest about what you're doing on a panel.
Well, good thing for him is if he's using this as a platform to audition for GM jobs, nobody has that same concern with the general manager of a billion-dollar enterprise or a multi-billion-dollar enterprise like a football team. You go ahead and fly off the handle as much as you want once you're running our football team. That's okay.
Yeah, trade people out of personality differences and don't work with certain teams because you don't like the other GM. These are the kinds of things.
Comment on the race and color of the players' wives and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's all okay.
Yeah, I would assume that that's kind of a red flag. But I'll tell you this, is because any guy who married a black guy that married a white chick is going to be like, this guy doesn't like me. I guess you could think that if you wanted to take it that far. And one other thing I want to talk about very briefly before we get to the retirement of Ray Hudson, which I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time on, is that people are very interested on the Colts owner. She's wearing a headset on the sidelines during the games. And I thought she gave a great answer. They said, why are you wearing the headset on the sidelines during the games? And she's like, I wanted to see if things are BS. Like, I'm paying these guys tens of millions of dollars, players and coaches. I want to hear what's going on. She's smart enough to, why not? She's not talking to the coaches. I don't think it has a microphone function that she can talk to them. But I think that's actually quite brilliant. If you're going to pay these coaches and people are going to give you lip service about what they're doing and how they're great, why not experience it for yourself? She's not citing herself as an expert, but she does own the team. And I actually think it's quite brilliant.
Hey, you fired up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That ain't no fool. Is she Irsay's daughter?
I believe that's what happened. Isn't
well,
right,
yeah,
John? Didn't his three daughters kind of split up the...
Carly Irsay Gordon.
Yeah. So good for her.
It's such a complex organism, a football team and how it operates. You could say that person ran the wrong route, but then you learn, someone tagged the wrong receiver, and it really wasn't the player's fault. It was the person who called it.
Yeah, so the exercise there is in impulse control in that you don't, if you start interfering with the coaches during the game or piping up during the game, that's where a line is crossed. But I think that if you are just a bystander and you want to see how things operate, what's wrong with that? How could that be controversial at all? I think it's great. It would give me the idea to do the same thing. Well, you're in the way. No, I'm not. I'm standing on the sidelines. I'm not here. I'm not touching anyone. I'm not Big Dom. If Big Dom can jump into piles and everyone loves him, I can stand on the sidelines with a headset on. Believe me. And one last media note, as one has been praised and one has been dismissed, we will have a 2-for-1 praise because the great Ray Hudson, who you might recall from the years ago on the show, we used to play his audio. When we discovered him, we had him on the show. He was wonderful on the show, and if you don't know Ray Hudson, Adam, I'm sure you have something for people.
Do you have the montage there, Hardy? If you don't, I can play it.
Oh yeah, I do. And
some other clips as well.
We also have his statement, but
I have his statement, but let's remind the people of who Ray Hudson is.
All right, thank you, 12.
Today, I want to tell everybody that I will be retiring now from CBS Sports and Sirius XMFC, and I want to thank everyone for sharing so many magisterial memories with me through the beautiful game where it beguiled us and it bewildered us, and I tried to verbalize the magic that we saw in front of us and do it in my way because I couldn't do it any other way, Tom. It was in me, so it just came out.
All right, so he says magisterial, beautiful game. There is no one that loved anything as much as Ray Hudson loves soccer.
This man is absolutely mainline to pure footballing magic.
Yeah, like he would talk about sniffing the jocks of the players and how it would be like an elixir that cures disease.
Soccer jock strapping, feeling dead away.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was in the crowd, and he correctly assumed that he'd be sniffing jock straps after the game. And but he was like,
wasn't a real man.
The guy's like, Tom Cruise is in the thing. He's like,
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he was like, he dismisses it. And what's great is he's not even at the game. Not Tom Cruise is. Ray Hudson is not.
Right.
Ray Hudson was doing
Broke down that fourth wall when we talked to him.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, I'm doing it from Miami, dude.
All those games that you see, El Clasico, I'm not there.
Yeah, he's like, they're not paying for me to travel around. This is soccer.
Yeah.
This is soccer.
Bringing Neymar to a footballing match is like bringing a gun to a knife fight.
But the thing about Ray Hudson that can't be ignored is that even if you found rightly soccer to be extremely boring, and even if you go to a game that Messi's playing, you realize that he takes a total of 4 steps in the entire game and still has 2 goals. which apparently is a skill, but nothing I could discern. Almost like they let him, perhaps.
Oh,
but you would. That's
Revs
my
were
new theory.
Revs were in a giving mood that night.
It's my theory. Is they just let him score so people would be happy that they bought the ticket. But nonetheless, Ray Hudson was so good at his job that you would watch something that you didn't care about to hear the broadcaster.
You people with your fancy smashy machines, go back and take a look.
And you could think that was hacky and, over the top, but there was a realness and an expression of joy, an earnest expression of joy that Ray Hudson has.
It's Messi! Oh, again!
Like, he's not faking it. And it's very hard to pull off because a lot of times it would seem phony and homery, but it didn't matter who it was. It was just he loved soccer so much.
And he sticks it into the heart of Athletic Club.
And he thought it was like this manly, violent game, which is a big stretch, but he was he was there.
Like a cheetah dragging down a gazelle.
Yeah.
I mean, he was fantastic. I mean, he's not dead. I don't like doing that. But I mean, he is fantastic.
It's the end of a career. There aren't many guys like him out there.
Yeah,
there aren't many guys out there that make you want to watch the sport for them instead of the sport itself.
Exactly. And I think that's ultimately the goal.
That's what Brady was supposed to do for football.
Right. That's why they're paying him $375 million.
Yeah. And that's why they're letting him go into other teams' locker rooms, even though he owns another team.
Gruden's that guy. Gruden's one of those guys.
Gruden's one of those guys.
I missed that.
Well, Gruden got screwed.
Of course he did.
Gruden got screwed. He's going to settle that lawsuit and he'll get money, but they really ruined the guy's life.
Now we're subject to box breaks of UMass stuff.
Yeah.
On video. Now, nothing against a UMass football program, but Gruden should be doing other things.
I don't feel that Gruden was treated fairly. I certainly don't. I think that if you don't know Gruden, there was this investigation in the NFL that had really nothing to do with John Gruden. They went through like millions of emails of like thousands of people, and for some reason cherry-picked non-related Gruden stuff where he used like bad language and
the rumor was the Raiders specifically released those emails to make
right
him look
and
bad.
like he said things about like whatever, like things you're not supposed to say, right? But but I mean, you go through people's crap, their personal crap, looking, and you just cherry pick stuff out of it. Like everyone's guilty of something, and that just seemed incredibly unfair to me.
Yeah, the Gruden and Barkley are really the only two that I can think of.
Well, Barkley's the best studio analyst and the best See, Buck and Aikman are a great pair, but I wouldn't watch a game for them.
That's just it. You don't have to be a basketball fan to watch Charles Barkley. You don't have to be a football fan to watch John Gruden.
Right. I think that's true.
And you don't have to be a soccer fan to listen to this guy.
I think that's a good way to put it. So I think that's fair. So Ray Hudson is fantastic, and I thank him for coming on the show and giving us so much enjoyment. Because I had no idea who he was, and he ended up being a very, very talented broadcaster and still could be, I'm sure. How long can they keep him away for real?
And he sticks it into the heart of Athletic Club.
Boy, I wish I liked something that much.
Are you kidding me?
Like something I had no stakes in, like something that I just like loved that much. And it could never break its heart either, because it was soccer's always there. Like it wasn't anything in particular. It was just the game. Like Bob Ryan in baseball. Like Bob Ryan, like just go keep scoring games. Write a book about it. He loves baseball.
On fire!
I'm very jealous of that. Just having a passion for something that much. It's
Dan Roach.
Yeah,
going to Chatham Anglers games.
You know what I realized in the car the other day is that I was just thinking Dan Roach is an actual friend of mine, and I have very few, and Dan Roach is an actual friend of mine. It occurred to me, I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, I could call Dan Roach right now and talk to him, and it wouldn't be weird.
Mm-hmm.
And that, my friend, is a friend.
Have you ever just called him, though, just to talk?
Yeah, we've talked on the phone. He came to one of my son's games.
That's not why I asked.
No, I don't call anyone just to talk.
Sure you do.
I call my mom.
You don't have one male friend that you call just talk to sometimes?
One. Yeah, Jason.
Okay.
My friend Jason from Detroit. I have one. But that doesn't, you're saying that that's what a friend is. That you would talk to them on the phone. and I'm saying
You just said that's what you could do with Dan. You could just call him right now to talk to him.
But you're saying, but if I haven't done it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done it, but I could. That's what I would thought.
Try it. Try it during the break.
I bet you anything he texts, we're on a delay.
What are you doing?
I bet you anything he texts.
What are you doing?
I think it's going to be a little awkward. I don't think there's good of friends as he's making out to be.
Are
you and
we
I?
friends?
See, who saw that question coming? All right, go ahead, finish.
I mean, you could really be mean.
Yeah, Hardy. Are you friends with Fred? Would you call him?
You almost
just to
called
say
me
hi?
Toucher, you idiot.
Yes, I think Fred and I are friends in a way that we don't have to like call each other because we sit here and talk to each other for 4 hours every day. So there's really nothing left to talk about. There would be no need for us to call.
Hardy and I, to answer your question, are friends. We've talked on the phone. When I was going through it, I was on the phone with him all the time.
Yeah.
Dan just texted all of us. Nobody calls me. I always have to reach out. But you question Dan's friendship. And I bet you I just made Dan's morning. Because I would love it if I was in the car and someone said I was their friend. I would.
You think you made someone's day by announcing publicly that you are friends with them?
You wouldn't get a little kick out of it if you were just driving around listening to a show you're not necessarily associated with, and the guy said that he considered you a friend?
I think if there was someone I were truly friends with, it wouldn't move the needle either way. It would just be like a statement of fact, like the sun is up.
Oh, I don't know. I would find it pleasing. I would like it. If Dan was on TV and said, like, my friend Fred Toucher, I would get a kick out of it. I really would. I'm being completely earnest with a medium that's
stupid radio show.
That's right. Radio's real antiquated compared to TV. TV's lights out right now. You seen the primetime lineup?
Now you're insulting your friend.
Here we go.
No, I'm not. I'm insulting television because you were insulting radio. I'm playing your game.
Fred's my friend because he's about to go to break right now.
Oh, F you with your breaks. You're the one who yesterday, at this very time, circled back.
You've been doing a fine job. The other two guys in the room, not so much.
He says, thanks, Fred. I love you. And that's sent to all of us. So
look at
double
that.
freedom rockets.
Yeah.
All right, you got two gestures for the YouTube people today. You got a masturbation gesture and middle fingers. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the Sports Hub.
All right, I'm not going to waste time. You can figure out how to email us. I got an email that legitimately made me laugh out loud, which is I rarely laugh out loud. I don't want to oversell it, but I do want to give you the background. We played this from the Bros on Bros podcast, the Julian Edelman podcast. I won't play the whole thing, but I want to set this email up. All right, so here's what happened. Oh, Jesus, Fred. Turn the thing on. God. You son of a bitch. You're going to pay for that later.
Will you tell us about your little Philly day?
Philly day was sick. I had the Philliest day ever. Fucking crazy. Wake up, hit up my boy Dave. I'm like, yo, I need a haircut, dude. You got a guy out here? So he's like, yeah, I do. And I was like, yo, I also need to get a cheesesteak. Where should I go? He goes, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to eat Angelo in South Philly with the Cooper Sharp at cheesesteak. All right, we're going to get that. We're going to pizza. And then we're going to get the haircut by Bryce Harper's barber above Angelo's while eating with Big Dom in there. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Go down to South Philly, walk over there, get out, go upstairs.
You get the point. So this is from Andrew. He says, no wonder why John loves Philly so much. I'm surprised he didn't get up and start scratching his nuts during the bit, just thinking about the sandwiches and haircuts there. That's it.
That's pretty good.
You're not gonna. Yeah, it made me.
That's really good.
I did go like, oh, like when I read that. If you don't know, John's in-laws live in Philly, and he would get very excited.
Yeah, but it was this whole story of the quintessential iconic Philadelphia day: the cheesesteaks, Big Dom getting the haircut, and he goes back to the hotel, and Invincible is on. So Tima also emailed in. He said the Boston version, which I tried doing, but Tima put some more thought into it. He said, so Brian Deck, the Patriots head of security, picks me up to go get some fries at Castle Island. By the way, they're good with or without vinegar.
Either way, they're good. You got to have them with vinegar, but either way.
Or not.
Yeah, Next, we went to the new store on the block on Dot Ave in Dorchester to play some Keno. He had his moves on his sick Escalade. Went through red lights because we own this town. Capped the day by getting a fade while I'm eating clam chowder. It's kind of messy with hair in the chowder, but we are Boston strong, and I choked it down. Finally went back to the Four Seasons. saw
the town.
Saw people pooping in public on the common while The Departed playing in my room.
Yeah. There used to be this guy, a comedy writer that was very talented. That had a Twitter when Twitter was funny called Assistant to Doug, and it was parody scripts of Entourage, and that's Edelman's life. Except, I think we're analyzing it too much. It's just a bad story. At the heart of it, it's just a setup story that's horrible. That's really what it is. Like if one of you told that story, as soon as you were done, or maybe probably before, I'd be like, this is the worst. I would say it. I go, what? You got a haircut? Who gives a rat's? What happened? What of any what, you ate food? Fantastic story.
I got a cheesesteak. I was in Philadelphia. You didn't hear the important parts of the story. The details are what makes it sing.
Your friend calls you up. He's like, dude, just got back from Philly. Yeah. Woke up. Okay.
Ate a cheesesteak.
So you didn't die.
Got a haircut.
So you were alive.
Hold on. Watched a movie in my hotel.
It's like, what are you not telling me? All right, so we played this from the Edelman comp. This is from Johnny. He says, hey, Fred, your 7 a.m. segment with the Edelman podcast was 1,000% spot on. I drive construction rental dumpster truck in Scranton, PA area, and I was laughing so hard I nearly drove off the road. That's not hyperbole. I wish I lived closer to Boston so I could provide Hardy with hours of entertainment as I dropped and picked up dumpsters in tight alleys. Love the show. You guys make my mornings.
Hella sick.
Have a great day. That's from John Hickey.
Well, he was saying, what was he saying that about? Was that about the blacked out Dom?
Is he from California? I know he went to Akron.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I'll give him a pass.
Was he Kent State? Whatever he was.
Kent State. Yeah,
whatever
it was. Insane.
Yeah, he was from California.
When I found out John Dennis went to Kent State, I started laughing because I'm like, he was with the cops. Like he was the one student that was like, the National Guard have the right idea.
Thinks Neil Young sucks.
Exactly. Like my dad voted for Nixon in the 60s when he was like in his 20s. And you're like, you did? Like, I thought everyone didn't, but you did. Like, I guess that's great, I suppose.
It's from Bill. As you guys were discussing Stand and Deliver, which we did for a while this morning, started to think about the parallels to summer school with Mark Harmon.
Oh.
A reluctant teacher put in a no-win situation where he needs to reach these kids and eventually earns their respect on the way to the kids growing and learning. I was thinking summer school was a whitewashed version of Stand and Deliver, but a quick trip to IMDb reveals summer school came out a year before Stand and Deliver. So is Stand and Deliver a ripoff of summer school?
And this all sparked from the conversation that Danny Trejo, whose book I've listened to and Hardy read, has the knowledge that American Me, the Edward James Olmos project, who was the star of Stand and Deliver, which actually followed Stand and Deliver, or I don't remember how it happened, that 8 to 10 people died because they made American Me, because of the associations and falsehoods with Mexican prison gangs.
So we all know Edward James Olmos. Oh, I just saw another one that I know. Okay, I was going to say, outside of those 2 or 3 movies, seems like you should be able to name a lot more based on the fact that we all know who he is. But how many movies has he made that we've actually seen? There's one more. He plays the father in Selena.
So if you were making a movie and you approach an actor, and they approach Danny Trejo because they've shot scenes, I guess, in Folsom Prison while Folsom Prison was an active prison. So they like go to him and they go, we want you to be in this movie, but part of it is your time that you spend in Folsom and your association with these people. And he goes, I read the script. Don't make the movie. I'll tell you why. These guys take this thing really seriously. You have this guy who really exists, like getting raped in prison, which didn't happen, and they're going to take great offense to this, and it will put you in danger. Because Trejo tries to put himself, and he's actually like kind of apologetic about he doesn't put a lot of blame at the feet of Edward James Olmos, but he does let it be known that like he warned him. And the guy even called him from jail and said, are you doing that movie? And he's like, I'm going to do the other one, Blood In, Blood Out, which is basically the same movie, but it's fictionalized. It's not based on, it's not about a person. And he's like, that's cool. You're doing the cute one. And Blood In, Blood Out is a very graphic murdering movie, but he calls it the cute one. And he goes, but I would have been okay if you do American Me. And then Trejo goes, is everyone going to be cool? Like the, director and all that. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. All the directors will be cool. Like they were just part of the machine. But the guys who got killed were like dudes in prison that were in shots, like far back in shots. The woman that was like the liaison between the gang and in the filming, because she lied, I guess, about talking to the head of the gang. I just put myself in Edward James Olmos' shoes. And like, does that story need to be told to such a degree? Like, is it like your artistic credibility on the line if you don't fictionalize this version of events to the detriment of like the movie? Like, you're being warned by a guy whose very presence is due to his association with the people. I don't think that's enough of an artistic thing that you go, this is worth it to me. But it is an interesting exercise. Because that's obviously what he was thinking, is like, this is like a passion project.
Yeah.
This story is like brilliant. It needs to be told. And finally, Irsay's daughters. I think Irsay's daughter having the headset on during the games is brilliant, as long as she doesn't talk into the microphone. It's brilliant. And this is Andrew. He says, I love that she was listening, but I think if Kraft did it, oh boy.
Jonathan Kraft on the sideline.
Or Mark Daniels in Vegas. Mark Daniels is like, look at that. 2 Whoppers. 2 Whoppers. I've never been on this end before. What do you have, sir? Just handing water to people. No, if Kraft put the headset on, it would be bad. Now's not the time. It's like when you take over the team. And if you're challenged, you just say, I want to know what's going on. I'm not bothering anyone. I think it's actually, she has a very good explanation for it, I feel.
There's a great email here that I think we'll get to in the stack because it also goes back to something we were discussing earlier with the copyrights that were rejected by the Copyright and Trademark Office from Bill Belichick, but a good explanation as to what they tried to do.
All right. Well, I would like to hear it. We'll have that for you coming right up. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox beat the Athletics again last night, 6-0 in Sacramento. 23-year-old rookie right-hander Connerly Early made his major league debut in this one for the Red Sox. He allowed 5 hits while striking out 11 over 5 shutout innings of work. Sox visit the Athletics one final time this afternoon. They've also placed pitcher Dustin May on the injured list with a sore elbow and will reportedly call up pitcher Kyle Harrison today. Patriots players had yesterday off. They'll be back at practice this afternoon. Their next game is their first one on the road for the regular season. It's Sunday against Miami. The team will also face a couple of their former players over the next 2 weeks. The Dolphins yesterday signed offensive lineman Cole Strange off the Cleveland practice squad, and Pittsburgh has signed former Patriots safety and team captain Jabril Peppers. Steelers come to Foxborough a week from Sunday, and Dolphins wideout Tyreek Hill's been accused of 8 counts of domestic violence by his estranged wife. Hill's attorney is calling all of this a shakedown. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by South Shore Bank. At Beatles Bank, sharing your success and growing your business is what Above and Beyond Banking is all about. Visit SouthShoreBank.com, member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
such an fantastic explosion.
98.5, the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, we're Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hardy, what do you have? You said something about the trademarks.
Yeah, because we talked about this earlier, and I don't think this part of it was mentioned. All the things that they were trying to get.
This is Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick. We're trying to get 4 trademarks. At least these 4 were rejected yesterday by the courts.
Right. And it was do your job, no days off, all these things that, as it turns out, were already trademarked by the Patriots, which is only one reason why they were rejected. Well,
which is their main revenue stream.
Yeah, the sole reason maybe why they were rejected. But in each of the versions that they tried to trademark, in parentheses, were Bill's version. Okay, they're trying to do a version of it. I didn't think about this. I don't think we mentioned it earlier, but it's a direct reference to Taylor Swift, who remade her own recordings because the copyright owner or the publishing rights or the publishing owner wouldn't sell them back to her. So she re-recorded all these songs, and you'll see in parentheses, Taylor's version. So.
Yeah, I did the same thing with Rat. I'm a big Rat fan, so I went around and I tried to trademark Lay It Down, Fred's version.
I see.
So not only does it speak to her obsession with Taylor Swift, which I think we have documented before, she thought that it would be also this big marketing thing as people just absolutely went ballistic trying to get Taylor's version. Oh, this is the real one. This is going to not only show that I'm a true fan, but it's also going to benefit Taylor Swift. She probably thought in her marketing mind, same thing will happen with us. People will spend money, even if they don't want this stuff, to support them and their cause and to show their true fandom by getting Bill's version of all this.
Yeah, she kind of miscalculated the love that people have for him and his value as a human.
It's almost like she's not good at this.
It's almost like she missed the mark. Like she met the wrong guy. Like, like she went all in on the wrong guy. Because now it's over. There's no getting back from this. I'm sure she's in circles where she could get another old ugly guy. But, like, her chance of getting, like, a real star is now gone. I mean, that's not happening. I don't see any value that it doesn't seem like someone that
if all
I
she
would
wanted
choose as a life companion out of every woman on the planet.
If all she wanted were like a dumb old guy with a lot of money, there's plenty of them around.
Right, but she wanted a famous dumb guy,
right, yes.
like with a lot of money. And so I think that this is got to be quite disappointing, the lack of fame, or just the general disgust with everything surrounding them.
This has been on the news this morning in a story that broke earlier. A badly decomposed body was found was found a couple of days ago, Monday, at a Los Angeles impound lot in a Tesla belonging to the singer David D4VD. Do we know who this person is?
I do not.
They're out on tour right now, playing big venues.
Okay.
The police department were called to a lot North Mansfield Ave because of a foul odor coming from a vehicle. The remains were not intact, and the ID will be delayed because of the decomposition of the victim. Officers found the body in a bag in the trunk of the Tesla at Hollywood Tow, and they said, there was another body found at another tow lot last week. They do not think the two cases are related, though. This happened at a different tow yard in South L.A., and that's part of an investigation into a missing person. But apparently this is a bit of an epidemic in Los Angeles right now. Bodies being found in the trunks of cars and tow lots, but one of them happened to belong to the guy who was playing at the Fillmore in Minneapolis last night. His real name, David Anthony Burke, who is on his Withered World Tour and is cooperating with authorities on the matter. I don't know who this guy is.
Wait, it was his car?
His car, his Tesla. It was.
Well, he's got Tesla money.
It was impounded because it was listed
Must
as
be doing some right.
Abandoned for some reason.
Well, that's not good look on him. But, who knows? People can steal cars. They can leave bodies in them. Who knows? He seems to be of great stock if he is that many letters after his first name.
Do you have any interest in going to the Sphere in Las Vegas?
No.
Zero.
I'd go in, if they were showing it, and just going hey, here's what it can do, I would do that. But to see a performance, I can't imagine that there would be anyone that I would like that was performing there.
That's the bigger question.
What about a movie? Do you know the movie that is currently playing at the Sphere?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Fantasia?
It is not. It is
2001: Space Odyssey?
digitally augmented presentation of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, no, thank you. I do not care for that film.
James Dolan said the project had gone way over its budget, but what they found out...
Way over its budget.
How
much money did you spend to build that thing? What budget are you working with?
No. The digital augmentation of the film, getting it ready for the Sphere, where they actually blow wind in during the tornado scene and there's debris in the air.
I say again, how much money can that possibly cost him? The man is worth tens of billions of dollars.
$100 million. He said it's been worth it. They're selling tickets to the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere for $200 each,
Jesus.
generating sales of $2 million a day.
But we could do it. It's really just your passion for the project,
right?
All right, that'll do it for us. Zolak and Bertrand are next. Are they in the?
They were
Patriots?
in Foxborough yesterday. You got to figure they're here
They
today.
should be here.
Okay,
Yeah, they're here.
All